Pod Mortem would like to thank Original Cinematic for sponsoring this week's episode. Original Cinematic is an independent production company that has made it their mission to create, produce, and promote films that are inclusive, honor women, promote the LGBTQIA+ community, and provide prominent positions and roles to POC actors and filmmakers, and promote the films of marginalized and underrepresented populations. These are all things that are extremely important to our podcast as well.
Original Cinematic is currently accepting scripts and treatments. Both William and Xxena Rush are available via email or Zoom to discuss writing and provide input and resources to all aspiring writers, free of charge. Their information will be made available in the show notes. There may be delays due to a hectic schedule and all projects being read on a first-come, first-served basis, but everything will be read and responded to. William Rush has individually produced numerous projects, including Pack is Here, Before, The Cottage, The Winemaker, and Day by Day. Their multi-award-winning film Group premiered and was celebrated at multiple film festivals as well as screenings, both in person and via Zoom, that were made graciously available to us and our patrons.
Original Cinematic has many exciting projects on the horizon. Their next film, Immersion, has been completed. The award-winning Sweetener is in development, Fetish begins shooting in September, and Encore will begin next spring. Their documentary Women in Conversation is slated for a September release, and we are looking forward to each and every one of them. It is truly an honor to partner with Original Cinematic, and we can't thank them enough for their contribution to our show. And now, back to our regularly scheduled program.
Salutations! Welcome to Pod Mortem. I'm Reneé Hunter-Vasquez, joined as always by my co-host, my husband, and my brother.
Hi, I'm John Paul Vasquez.
Hi, I'm Travis Hunter-Sayapin.
This week, we're recording live from the O'Grady farmhouse discussing the 1993 comedy horror film, Leprechaun. This film was written and directed by Mark Jones. In his directorial debut, Jones sought to weave humor and horror in this twisted tale. Leprechaun would go on to surpass Jones's expectations. His poorly reviewed low-budget B-movie would skyrocket to cult classic status with its talented cast, impressive makeup, and quotable lines, eventually launching its own franchise. Even now, the titular Leprechaun and his antics remain a favorite among many horror fans over 30 years later. This film was requested to us by friends of the show, Lala Thomas, Bobby Holmes, Brandon Brown, Scott Troutman-Wise, Jonathan Stein, Skank Sinatra, Beth Bauer, Jay, Megan M., Topher Williams, Ronnie Boy 13, Stephen Junius, Old School Cool, TVR, Tommy Norcal, and Jackson Vasquez. We want to thank them all for their support as well as this suggestion. So, what did you guys think of Leprechaun the first time you saw it?
I think I was like 10. And
I feel like that's got to be
the
prime.
No,
yeah.
I thought this was the funniest shit. Like, I was like, oh, this is crazy. Continued to watch it as I, grew. I know the movie's not great. I like this movie. I really, really like this movie. I understand there's a lot of things that aren't like perfect at all by any means. I get it. But it just has that charm. This is one of those movies, I know we talk a lot about charm, how some movies, older movies have charm. For me, I feel like even if this was a fresh watch for me, I'd still laugh my ass off at what's going on. Like, it's just silly as fuck. I remember Jackson had asked me about the movies and he wanted to watch it. I was like, sure, go ahead. He watched that first movie and fell in love. He loved the shit out of it. And he was like, so can I watch the rest? I was like, no.
Not so fast.
Yeah. Leprechaun, he goes on some adventures.
Mm-hmm.
I think with Ice-T in one of them, you know what I mean? I think he goes to space. I'm not
cool.
sure. There's a few of them.
He's booked and busy.
Yes, yeah. But this movie was it was a treat watching it again as an adult after all these years, because it has been a minute. Like I said, when Jackson watched it, he watched it on his own.
Mm-hmm.
So watching it again, I watched it with your sister, and I was like just smiling. I was like, this is great.
I have to say just very quickly, I don't know the circumstances to where this character would go to space.
Yeah, no, I don't know. I don't either. I'm just assuming that's where they go.
No, he does.
Okay.
He does.
That's a title.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
I don't. I want to skip ahead to see why. This was a first time watch for me.
Okay.
And I really only know it because of Warwick Davis and it kind of being almost like a trivia question answer for Jennifer Aniston.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I've heard that it's terrible. I've heard that it's the best thing ever. And so I really just wanted to, you're like, yes.
Yeah, both of those things, yes.
I wanted to watch it with an open mind.
Yeah.
This film is, I will say it for me.
Yeah.
It's so aggressively not for me. But watching it, you absolutely understand why people love it.
Yeah.
Because there is that charm to it. I'm resisting a pun that I'm sure Nay will make at some point later.
I might.
But there is a charm to it that I think, especially if you watched it at a young age like you did.
Yeah.
And like Jackson did.
Yeah.
If you watch it at that age, it's one of those films that it's like, oh, the nostalgia will remain powerful in this forever.
Oh, yeah.
And so I get that 100%. Me watching it for the first time at my big age of 34. No. But I get it. That's the thing.
Right. No, yeah.
And I will say, if you're watching it as one of those films where you just turn your brain off and have fun with it, I think it's one that if you watch with friends, you could have a lot of laughs at.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Laughs at and maybe with.
Right.
Because there is one moment in the film that I laughed so hard.
I can't wait to learn
And
where.
I teased it earlier off mic, and I'm telling it now on the show, but it's not worth it. Like, when we get to that point, you're going to be like, that was it?
Yeah.
But yeah, I had to stop. I rewound it to make sure I saw what I saw.
That's good enjoyment.
It was. And I was like, you know what? You've surprised me, Leprechaun. But, even if the film is not for me and I didn't enjoy it so much, I think that there are positives of it. Aside from that charm, I really do think that Warwick Davis and Jennifer Aniston are doing good work.
Oh, yeah.
They're putting in what they need to put in for these characters, and I feel like Davis especially is so committed, and he seems to be having a blast.
Yeah.
And so you got to give it to him for that. And I did enjoy the music.
Yeah.
I think that there are parts that are pretty whimsical and kind of like cartoonishly eerie that are very fun and very fitting of what this film is.
Yeah.
And that's the other thing, what this film is. I know you'll have a lot of information about the making of it and everything, but this film, it seems like it's not trying to be anything more than it is.
Right.
And you got to respect that.
Yeah.
So even if it's not for me, I get the enjoyment.
Yeah.
And, be kind to me in the comments, please.
Nah.
No.
This was a first time watch for me as well in preparation for writing the script. I did watch it with John Paul and then I got to work on it. And it is, you hear Leprechaun, you see the clips, you hear, the quotes. It delivers what you think it's going to deliver.
Yeah.
I think that what surprised me about it was Warwick Davis really does give every ounce of himself to this. And I think that that's what makes it work. I think if you're not fully committed, if Jennifer Aniston isn't playing this sincerely as a serious role, as a final girl, if we're counting her as
I don't know.
I don't even know. But I feel like if they're not as committed as they were, this doesn't work. If this was trying to be anything other than what it is, this wouldn't work. I think that I agree that this is not my type of film either. I do think that it's a lot of fun though. And I was saying when we got here today that I think working on it so severely and watching so many like interviews and reading the history of the film and stuff, I have a weird amount of Stockholm syndrome and like appreciation for just how ridiculous this is and just how unapologetic it is that we're making a movie about an evil leprechaun. And that's exactly what it is. You know what I mean? Like, it is what it is. If you don't like it, you don't like it. If you like it, you like it. Like, but this is what it is. And I feel like I relate in that respect. I do think that it's a silly little movie. There are pieces that go on for entirely too long. There are, I think, characters and kind of arcs that are completely dropped with no warning. This is just kind of a mess, but in a very fun way that is very of its time. And there's just something kind of fun about that.
Yeah.
Not that this is a great film. I want to be very clear about that. But as always, I do want to talk a little bit about the production before we dive into the plot of Leprechaun. And I got my information from the documentary The Leprechaun Chronicles, Entertainment Weekly, and Slash Film.
Okay.
So writer and director Mark Jones got his start in television and cartoons. I did learn that he very recently passed away too, which is very sad.
Yeah.
But he wrote for the all-new Popeye Hour, Scooby-Doo and Scrappy-Doo, Heathcliff, The Adventures of Sheriff Lobo, The A-Team.
Okay.
Yeah. But his real dream was directing. As he's doing all of this writing and producing, he realizes that the only way he's ever going to be able to direct something is if he writes it for himself and stipulates that he's the one that gets to direct it. So he starts brainstorming and he sees a commercial for Lucky Charms cereal where there is a cute little leprechaun that he thought he could do a sinister twist with. He's doing research and finds out that some leprechauns can be evil. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Hey, anything could be a jumping off point.
Yeah.
He also thought that based on the success of Gremlins in 1984, The Ghoulies in 1985, and the one that inspired him the most, Critters in 1986, that there was a demand for small creatures and horror. And so to him, a leprechaun fits right in that.
Oh, yeah. Right up my ass.
All right.
Yeah.
Exactly. You're like, more.
No, all those things.
Yeah, check. He conceived of this leprechaun terrorizing a group of people in a cabin. This struck him as a little too close to the original Evil Dead and Friday the 13th, so he said, I'm going to make it funny. Meanwhile, Mark Amen establishes 2020 Video in 1981. It's a chain of video stores. Remember those?
Yes. Yeah.
Then he sets up a distribution company, Vidmark, later renamed Trimark, which is kind of genius because they specialized in the booming straight-to-video market, and he had a chain of video stores.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Around the time he changed the name to Trimark, he realized that to make even more money, they would need a piece of theatrical business and they would need to get into film production. Leprechaun would go on to be their first production to be released theatrically.
Okay.
Interesting.
So Mark Jones is able to get a meeting with Mark Amen and the other producers at Trimark. They feel like Leprechaun is something that they can make with the small budget, and they were in, but they did not want Jones to direct because he'd never directed before. Jones insisted that the only reason he even wrote this was to direct it. The original script for Leprechaun was a lot sillier. Jones likened it to kind of a live action Scooby-Doo vibe. That's what he'd written before, and that's what he wanted to make. But Trimark wanted the tone to be darker. So he changes it for them. He has storyboards made up, and he brings them all to another meeting with them. It's at this meeting with the storyboards that reflected the changes that they wanted made. And after Jones agreed to take a pay cut,
Oh.
yes, making less to write and direct than he would just to write.
What?
Yeah, that his wish is granted, and they say that he can direct it.
Geez, they're like, how bad do you want to be a director?
I
Exactly.
know.
Yeah.
That's rough.
But he does get it. It does come with the warning, though, that if the producers didn't like the dailies for 2 days in a row, he's out.
Do you reset the counter? And
Damn, I know. What the hell?
0 days.
Yeah. Well, we didn't like it yesterday, but it's all right today. But tomorrow is terrible.
You better get it together. During production, the decision to make the film scarier was abandoned, and they leaned once again more into the silliness, adhering to the guidelines to keep the movie PG-13 as they were told. Once they're finished, they have a screening for the producers, and Jones said that once the lights came back on, no one wanted to look him in the eye, and they had a lot of notes. Starting with the fact that after watching it, they realized that this would probably do better as an R-rated film.
What? The Scooby-Doo?
Yeah.
Eamon said that what they originally watched was about 80-20 comedy horror, and they wanted to get it to about 50-50.
Okay.
So they have to go back and shoot all new footage to make things scarier, more suspenseful, more intense. Producer William Sachs was brought in to, quote, save the film. In that making of, he called the first cut of Leprechaun the worst thing he had ever seen. He kept refusing to come on board, but the Trimark producers kept offering him more and more money until he said yes. But he says this in the documentary, that the movie was just terrible. He even called the finished product and its sequels so bad that it was depressing. And that he added truly nothing of value, and that any success that Leprechaun ever had was simply the right series of mistakes.
Huh.
Failing up.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know if it would have been better if it is Jones's vision of way more comedy.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, what is it a tonal thing for me that maybe it just doesn't work or add up or balance?
It could be, but
Yeah.
we'll never know.
No.
You know, at this point.
I am interested to learn
What that
what that
would have
was.
been, yeah. Jones was upset because if this film was supposed to be rated R, he would have approached everything differently. As it was, they were going in to film completely new scenes or add on to existing scenes just to make it gorier or add more profanity or just make it scarier to get that R rating. But when they screened both versions, everyone did end up liking this R-rated version better.
Fair enough.
Leprechaun opened in January of 1993, where it would make $8.5 million at the box office against a meager $900,000 budget.
Hey.
As I said in the intro, the reviews were terrible. Jones said himself that he loved movies like The Exorcist and Rosemary's Baby, but that's simply not what he was trying to make. And again, that's why I'm like, I appreciate that. He's like, look, this was what I wanted to do, and I did it. While the critics clearly didn't get it, Leprechaun definitely found its audience and is passionately regarded as a cult classic. And because of its financial success, Trimark immediately greenlit a sequel. And while Jones did not return to direct any of the subsequent films, he had a deal that garnered him a share of any profits made from any Leprechaun film.
Damn.
So I was like, that was smart.
Oh, yeah.
And there are 8 now. A whole franchise, as we said, in which the Leprechaun visits dazzling locations like space and the hood twice.
Yeah. Mhm.
Twice.
Yeah.
He loved it the first time.
He's so nice, you gotta go twice. But, and again, as T was saying, and to quote Warwick Davis, just sit down with a can of beer, put your brain in the fridge, and enjoy the film. So let's do that.
Yeah.
Now, before we catch this film, we would like to issue a warning for spoilers. Pod Mortem is a very in-depth podcast, and in thoroughly discussing horror films, we have no choice but to spoil a thing or two. If you don't wish to be spoiled, please go watch the film, then come back and enjoy the show. If you've already seen the film or don't care about spoilers, then let's shine our shoes. The film opens with echoing footsteps approaching a curving set of stone stairs lining a natural wall and leading down into a cave-like dwelling. The Leprechaun, played by Warwick Davis, steps into view, the echo matching the movements of his black buckled shoes. He descends the stairs in his striped stockings, his red shorts, his green jacket, and his matching hat. And with the wave of his hand, the beam of light behind him is cut off and the entrance to his hideout sealed.
Warwick Davis. He was in Labyrinth in 86, Willow in 88, The Chronicles of Narnia, Prince Caspian in 08, and he's in the Harry Potter movies too, from what I've seen.
Is that right?
Yeah.
He is. That's true.
Yeah.
I watched him on Life's Too Short, which was a fantastic show.
Okay.
I have to say, though, watching this film, the last thing I expected in the world was for the opening shot to feature the Leprechaun.
Yeah, no, I mean, I guess he's real. We're seeing him.
Yeah.
We're really not going with the Jaws approach here.
No, not at all.
I wanted to talk a little bit about the casting of Warwick Davis. In the 80s, he did 3 Star Wars films and starred, as you said, in Ron Howard's Willow. But he said that in the early 90s, he just wasn't getting calls anymore. And he was starting to think that his glory days were just going to be in the 80s and he was going to have to get another job and stop acting. Then he sent the script for Leprechaun. Mark Jones said that they were positive that they were not going to be able to get Willow, as he said, that you don't go from a Ron Howard movie to whatever the hell this was shaping up to be. But Warwick Davis read the script and was immediately intrigued. He would get to play a villain.
Okay.
He was excited to do it, and Jones really gave him the freedom to do whatever he wanted with the character. He actually had to get into costume and perform at a board meeting of Trimark executives to prove that the film and the character would be viable.
Wow. No pressure.
I know.
But I mean, apparently they were impressed with what they saw. Jones credited the success of the character to the way that Warwick Davis chose to portray him, and Warwick Davis credited the buckled shoes with helping him slip into character.
Hey.
He said that even with the whole costume, it was once he put the shoes on that he knew how to walk and how to move and just really got into the groove of playing this leprechaun. He did a lot of his own stunts too.
You can tell.
Yes.
Yeah.
And they said that on that documentary that it was so freezing during filming that Warwick Davis ended up getting a really terrible lung infection.
Oh, shit.
And they had to hire stand-ins because he was too sick to even come to set. But he did say that out of all the films and franchises that he has done, Willow, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy, Labyrinth, Chronicles of Narnia, Harry Potter, Star Wars, it's Leprechaun that he is asked about the most.
That's right.
Wow.
We find the leprechaun sitting at the edge of the steps, a gentle light shining on the black pot next to him, revealing that it's filled to the brim with shimmering gold coins. They clatter together at his touch, and he giggles gleefully, his voice lilting high in his accent. Try as they will, and try as they might, who steals me gold won't live through the night.
So someone's stealing that gold.
Yes. Yeah. No. Yeah.
First order of business.
Yeah.
He runs his hand along his treasures and cackles. Meanwhile, as a cheerful and intriguing score plays along with the opening credits, a limo makes its way down an empty street before turning and driving through the modest gate of a property. It cuts to black and we get the title, white, shaded with green against a black background. Leprechaun. The limo comes to an abrupt stop, and with a grunt, O'Grady, played by Shay Duffin, opens the door and steps out. He clutches a bottle of Jameson in his hand and turns it up, gulping down the rest of its contents before tossing the spent green bottle to the side, where it lands in the dirt. Panting, he staggers away from the luxury car and up the short steps to his porch, where Mrs. O'Grady, played by Pamela Mant, stands watching, appalled, with her mouth agape.
Pamela Mant, I want to show her some love because she was in Freaked in '93.
No fucking way.
What a big year for her.
Yeah. And Pee-wee's Big Holiday in 2016.
Hey.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mrs. O'Grady gasps. A limousine? She asks her husband what's gotten into him, but O'Grady assures her that this is just the start. Indicating their home, he implores her to take one last look at this dump because tomorrow they're going to be looking at mansions. Mrs. O'Grady balks at this. She tells him to listen to himself. Mansions and limousines? They don't have the money for this. The uncredited limo driver approaches with O'Grady's bags and he directs him to place them inside. After he passes, O'Grady lowers his voice, asking in a whisper if the funeral parlor delivered the package. Mrs. O'Grady confirms that they did. She left it on the porch because she didn't want to touch it. Eyeing him, she asks that he just tell her what's going on. O'Grady pats his wife's shoulders reassuringly before walking past her with a chuckle. He stops, though, when the driver steps back out onto the porch and asks if that'll be all. O'Grady staggers back over and slaps a seemingly generous tip into the driver's hand, wishing him bon voyage. The driver thanks him, tips his hat to the couple, and makes his exit.
He would have already had to have cashed some of that gold in,
Oh
right?
yeah. Oh yeah.
The way he's moving right
Yeah.
Unless he's using his own money like
Yeah.
a fool.
He's like, I'll put it back.
Yeah.
Finally, O'Grady answers his wife's questions. What's happening here is that they're rich. Mrs. O'Grady points out that he was supposed to be burying his mother, not sending her ashes over from Ireland. O'Grady opens up the box marked fragile, still sitting on the porch, like his wife said. He tosses the crinkled paper inside the box aside and pulls out a large emerald green urn. Agitated, Mrs. O'Grady asks what he's going to do with it. Shaking his head, he insists that these are not his mother's ashes. So I thought it was pretty fucked up that she's like, oh, I'm not fucking touching. I'm not bringing that in the house.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I honestly didn't even think of that.
No, until you said something right now.
Yeah.
That's really fucked up. With the dramatic flourish in the score, he throws the urn down, shattering it and revealing a brown bag inside. O'Grady thrusts his hand into the bag and comes out with a fistful of bright gold coins. He displays them for his wife, wriggling his fingers and announcing, "Gold! A pot of gold!" While his wife stares in confusion, O'Grady explains that he caught a leprechaun and he made him show him where his gold is. His eyes wide and excited, he reminds her, "It's the rule, you know?" But Mrs. O'Grady isn't amused. Her features etched with disappointment. She calls her husband a drunken fool and a storyteller.
I understand that he just downed a bottle of Jameson
Yeah.
right in front of you.
Yeah.
did.
But he is also physically holding a
Yeah.
bag of gold.
Yeah. I'd celebrate too.
Yeah. I mean,
Thunder cracks, and when a flash of lightning brightens her face, her husband looks around, startled. Mrs. O'Grady asks if he didn't know there was a storm brewing. O'Grady asserts that he is telling the truth. He plants a kiss on his wife's cheek before staggering away. Mrs. O'Grady calls after him to come to bed so she can make him a nice pot of hot tea. Once he's gone, she mutters to herself, "Leprechaun indeed. Pot of gold." She tisks. Whatever next? Thunder booms again and Mrs. O'Grady shudders before going back inside.
But wouldn't you be a little curious, even if you're drunk, your spouse is drunk? Where'd you get that gold
He
from?
literally
Where'd
has
you- yeah,
gold. There is
like
a
you
bag.
were, like you were saying.
yeah.
I mean, you are drunk, but it's there. But yeah, go. Let me have the gold. Go lay down. You know what I mean? Let me
I'm
check
going to
this
take
out.
this to somebody.
Yeah.
Or maybe he does this all the time. Maybe he's always bringing home gold and she's like, God damn. Again?
As promised, Mrs. O'Grady makes the pot of hot tea, but as she stands in the kitchen pouring the boiling water from the green kettle into a green pot, she hears a child's echoing whimper. She sticks her head out of the kitchen door and calls for her husband, asking worriedly if that's him. In response, a little girl's voice, provided by Alexandra Sachs, begins to sing, "Mary Had a Little Lamb." And Alexandra Sachs is the daughter of William Sachs, the one that was brought on to quote unquote fix Leprechaun, who hated Leprechaun very much.
Yeah.
But he's like, get my daughter involved.
Yeah, right.
Perplexed, Mrs. O'Grady follows the sound of the gentle singing to find that it's coming from one of her husband's suitcases. She approaches slowly, kneeling when she reaches it and using her thumb to unfasten the closed lock. Mrs. O'Grady lowers her ear to hear the child inside better when she pleads calmly that she can't breathe in there. Please open the suitcase. Resting her cheek against the leather, Mrs. O'Grady's mouth goes slack in shock when the girl laments that she's going to suffocate. Mrs. O'Grady finally steps away from the suitcase and the top raises on its own, revealing red glowing eyes staring out from the black abyss inside. The score swells, but what steps out of the suitcase is not a little girl, but the leprechaun.
So did O'Grady sneak him through customs? Like accidentally?
Yeah.
I think that, but again, what's confusing to me is we were in Ireland.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there are instances in the film where he is like making himself appear in certain places. and then other times when he can't.
Uh-huh.
So I'm confused.
Because he explains.
Can you do this internationally?
Yeah. Well, he explains to us later certain, restrictions of his powers right now. So I assumed it's like his last gasp because he stole his gold. He climbed into his suitcase.
I thought he teleported himself in there.
All the way from Iceland.
That's what I thought too. I was like,
Maybe
I don't know how you did that.
He spent too much of his allotment doing that, and that's why maybe later in the movie he can't do everything he wants.
Okay, because TSA would be like, excuse me, sir. There is something very troubling in your back.
In your back.
The leprechaun giggles, pointing out the gold buckles on his shoes before those shoes carry him across the living room in a hurry. He asserts that he wants his gold now. The room suddenly goes dark, lit only by the sporadic spurts of lightning in the storm outside. The leprechaun rushes a screaming Mrs. O'Grady, knocking into her and sending her sprawling down the basement stairs. Mrs. O'Grady lands hard at the bottom, and when the lightning illuminates her body again, she's motionless. Slowly, suspensefully, we glide up the stairs to find the leprechaun presiding at the top, his face obscured and his red hair barely visible in the shadows. He decides simply, "Oh, no problem."
I don't know why. I don't know why I expected him to have some remorse.
I don't know why you did either.
You've killed someone.
No. It's 6 minutes. We've been
That's true. Yeah, he is the villain.
Yes.
He didn't waste any time.
No.
He raises his finger, sniffing the air and realizing that he smells some tea brewing. Right on cue, O'Grady comes back inside the dark house, slapping his hands together as he announces to his wife that he hid the gold. They're rich now. Mrs. O'Grady's voice floats over to him, low but recognizable in her lilting accent. "Where did you hide it, Dan?" O'Grady stands confused as the leprechaun steps out of the kitchen, holding the tea tray that Mrs. O'Grady had prepared. Steam streams continuously from the teapot, shrouding the leprechaun's face when he grins, asking in Mrs. O'Grady's voice, "Did you hide it near the house? Tell me where you hid the gold."
I just want to say very quickly that there is a decent amount of overlap between the beginning of this film and the beginning of Dead Silence.
Dude, that's very true.
The package on the porch from family, potentially.
That's really true.
And then this throwing of the voice, which I did not know was a leprechaun's, but they're tricksters.
Yeah.
They are tricksters.
Yeah.
So really, T, as much as you love Dead Silence, you owe a lot to Leprechaun.
See?
I hate to see it.
O'Grady's face goes grim, and he demands to know how the leprechaun found him. The leprechaun's voice is his own again, high and dripping with mirth. His smile widens when he reveals that the wee people have their ways. O'Grady asks what the leprechaun has done with his wife, and in response, the leprechaun feigns grief. "Oh, the poor lass. I should have told her to watch her step." O'Grady hurries away, declaring that it's his gold and he's going to get that leprechaun. He rushes into his bedroom, pulling open a drawer and finding his handgun next to a vibrantly green 4-leaf clover resting on a lacy piece of cloth.
This implies that he knew while he was in
Oh, no, yeah.
when he was in Ireland. He's like, there's a good chance. Because he is prepared.
Yeah.
When he returns to the living room, the leprechaun is resting in a chair and sipping his tea, congratulating O'Grady that his wife makes a fine pot of tea. The thunder cracks outside as O'Grady, his gun clutched in his right hand, raises his left to present the clover to the leprechaun. The leprechaun is immediately horrified, his cheery facade broken as he drops both the teacup and the saucer, and they thump against the carpet. He pulls away, shrinking against the back of the chair, pleading with O'Grady. "Where did he get that?" O'Grady growls. "This is what you'll get, you monster." The leprechaun begs him to get away, put it away. O'Grady reminds him that he got that gold fair and square. Those are the rules. O'Grady fires his gun at the leprechaun. That's a wild sentence.
Yeah.
That's a crazy sentence. Sending him toppling backwards in the chair. He shoots again, but the leprechaun scrambles away, fleeing from the room with a giggle and an invitation for O'Grady to catch him if he can. O'Grady reloads his gun, asserting that the leprechaun can't get away. He runs after him. O'Grady goes straight into the basement, peering around the corner to find the creature, but the leprechaun speaks up boldly, looking for something. Stop. I thought you were afraid of him 2 seconds ago. The leprechaun stands next to Mrs. O'Grady's propped up dead body, endlessly staring with blood dribbling from her mouth and nose. O'Grady cries out that he killed his wife. He holds the clover up toward the leprechaun, but the leprechaun has gripped the side of Mrs. O'Grady's head, shaking it as he speaks for her in her echoing voice. "Hello, Dan. I'm okay. I've just got a little kink in me neck."
It's just a taste of what is to come.
No. Oh, yeah.
I was going to say, at this point, it's like I get why John Paul loves this so much. You love a shit-talking villain.
Oh, yeah.
O'Grady sobs that he should have killed the leprechaun when he found him in Ireland, but the leprechaun is committed to the bit. He implores O'Grady in his departed wife's voice to just give him the gold. He's a good little leprechaun. But O'Grady counters that he'll give him more than gold. He fires his gun again, sending the leprechaun falling back into the shadows. He's speaking in his own voice when he warns that the bullets won't stop him forever. He'll keep coming back, but he is groaning in pain.
Yeah, no, that's what was wild. Watching it again, it's like, oh, he really kind of shot you to death a little.
Yeah, it doesn't mean it doesn't hurt.
No, yeah.
He said they won't stop him forever. They will stop him.
Yeah.
But he'll get it together. O'Grady slowly walks over to where the leprechaun fell and picks him up, depositing him inside of a large open wooden crate. He throws his fallen hat inside before covering the crate with the lid. O'Grady gently places the clover on top of the crate, announcing that the power of the clover will keep him in there forever. The leprechaun's voice floats up, demanding that he get the damn clover off the crate. He already told him that he can't kill him. O'Grady ignores the leprechaun's questions of where he put the gold. Instead of answering, he begins to hammer nails into the lid of the crate, securing it closed. The leprechaun inside acts unfazed, calling out for O'Grady not to strain himself. But O'Grady is straining himself. He's barely able to stand, and his breathing is ragged when he finishes his work. He grabs a can of gasoline and pours it over the sealed crate. The leprechaun mocks him. "Oh no, not gasoline." He informs O'Grady that he can't burn him because he won't let him. Laboring, O'Grady drags his wife upstairs, and the leprechaun's voice finds him here too, cautioning him again not to strain himself because he's not as young as he used to be. He might have a stroke. As thunder cracks outside, we press in on the crate in the basement, the crate housing the leprechaun, whose voice is still strong and defiant. He declares, "I curse ye for all eternity." He shares that he has traded his own soul for his gold, and O'Grady will trade his life. He cackles, adding that if he gives the gold back, he'll go away. I don't believe it.
No. You've already murdered my wife.
Yes!
Yeah, it's too late for that.
Yeah.
There's no clearing the slate on this. Upstairs, O'Grady's face is slick with sweat when he gently sets his wife on the floor. He turns back toward the basement with his matches, but suddenly he groans in pain. He stops in his tracks, his legs giving way as he sinks to the floor. Not one to miss an opportunity to be the worst, the leprechaun uses Mrs. O'Grady's voice when he asks, "Oh, Danny, what's wrong?" He cackles.
Of course.
The score rises, and perched on his knees, O'Grady finally strikes the match. We press in on his face as he cries out, "Burn in hell, you little green bastard!" But before he can throw the match, we hear a blow of wind and it extinguishes. O'Grady falls to the floor, the smoking match spilling from his hand as the leprechaun giggles, wondering if it went out. O'Grady's fingers go slack, illuminated by the flashes of lightning. We get a tight shot of the clover before finding the crate down in the basement, hammer, nails, and an overturned can of gasoline on its top. It rocks with the weight of the indignant leprechaun inside before finally going still. We pull away from this and fade to black. So I didn't want to disrupt the flow of that kind of bananas openings. I think that now's a good time to kind of discuss the makeup for the Leprechaun. It was done by Gabriel Bartalos. He was approached by the Trimark executives because he'd just done makeup for Gremlins 2, the new batch.
Okay.
And for Darkman.
Hey.
He was very excited because he had independently of this always loved leprechauns and found them interesting. So instead of sketching, he immediately got to work sculpting on a life cast of Warwick Davis's face so that he could present his ideas in 3D.
Oh.
He said he made 2 or 3 different sculpts and they were just too cute. So frustrated with himself, he sculpts another one, super over the top, broken teeth and tense eyebrows, these lifted, menacing cheeks, and the producers were like, that's it. We love it. It would end up being 7 different pieces on Warwick Davis's face, broken down, his forehead, cheeks, nose, brows, chin, and of course his wig, but all in separate pieces to allow for maximum facial movement for Warwick Davis's performance. And you can see him emoting, like it moves really well. And I think he ended up making 3 different sculpts because the Leprechaun's features grow more menacing as the film goes on, like more extreme. But he said that Warwick Davis would be in the makeup chair for 3 hours in the morning for application and then 40 minutes of removal at the end of the day.
Okay.
He said that Warwick Davis was so enthusiastic, genuinely interested, asking questions about the process, that he never complained and was just a complete joy to work with.
He really enjoyed that then.
He did.
Like he really
He from every interview that I watched and read, seemed to love his time as the Leprechaun.
It shows on screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Suddenly, we are gliding over dense trees and text on screen alerts us that it is 10 years later. I was like, oh, okay.
That was also...
Is Mr. O'Grady okay? We hover until we find a road, a single red Jeep speeding down its length. A woman croons in the score. I say I need a 4-leaf clover, one that's strong and won't blow away. Won't you be my 4-leaf clover? Be my lucky charm that's here to stay.
She's on theme.
Yeah. It's a bit on the nose. But.
Yeah. And they do like this song.
Yeah.
Quite a bit.
Inside the Jeep, the woman in the passenger seat laments to her driving father that she's still depressed. Look at her in New Mexico with her hick father for the whole summer. When her father's like, hey, she offers, no offense.
Come on, man.
That's crazy.
Her father does clarify that it's not New Mexico, it's North Dakota, but his daughter decides that it doesn't matter. All that matters is that it's not LA. The Jeep finally pulls onto a familiar-looking property and parks outside of a familiar-looking house, now weathered and abandoned. When the father hops out of the driver's seat, we finally see him. JD, played by John Sanderford, and his daughter, Tori, played by Jennifer Aniston.
John Sanderford, he was in Firestarter in 84. He did 132 episodes of Ryan's Hope from 85 to 89. And he was also in Transformers Revenge of the Fallen in 2009.
Okay.
Wow.
And Jennifer Aniston.
Of course.
I think we already know, but I'll still go over.
Mm-hmm.
She was in Picture Perfect in 97, Office Space in 99, Bruce Almighty in 03, Along Came Polly in 04, and 235 episodes of Friends from 94 to 04.
And again, 94, and this is 93.
Yep.
Just an aside, I can't remember what grade I was in, but it was like single digit grades.
Mm-hmm.
But there was an award ceremony that we had to go to, and it was the night that it was the finale of Friends, and the principal was on stage, and she was like, now I know everyone else would much rather be at home right now watching the finale of Friends, and it's like, damn, dude.
These are your children.
Yeah. Just to show the hold that it had on.
We're taping it.
Yeah.
I have a little thing written about her casting, and it starts with, so have you guys heard of Jennifer Aniston? Because I'm so clever. But at the time, no one really had. She had done a couple TV roles, but this was her first feature film. So once again, I know we talked about this recently. We've talked about this with, when things become very popular or very successful, everybody kind of wanting to take credit for that success. So according to Jones, they had several casting sessions and tapes that they were watching to cast Tori. But he knew as soon as he saw Jennifer Aniston that she just had something and they needed to get her. According to him, the executives said no. They wanted someone with a known name, a recognizable face, and with some credits because they're trying to get people to go to the theater to see this. That was the whole point of making Leprechaun.
Okay.
Which does track. Again, we'll never know the truth, but that does make sense. Jones said that he really had to fight for her. And when the producers finally relented, they said that if she was going to get the role, she had to bleach her hair blonde because they wanted Tori to be a hot California blonde. So Jones calls Jennifer Aniston and says, I have good news and I have bad news. Good news, you got it. Bad news, you got to bleach your hair. So he said that she's like, I really don't want to do that. And he's like, here's the thing. We're going to say yes. And then you just don't do it. He said they're not going to stop production over your hair, which again, according to Jones, is exactly what happened. They didn't stop production over her hair and it just kind of, the ball kept rolling.
Okay.
According to Mark Gaiman, he doesn't remember any of this happening at all.
Oh, okay.
They would have never cared about the color of someone's hair. It would have been about who was best for the part. And every one of the executives collectively felt that Jennifer Aniston was head and shoulders above anybody else in any audition and that she was the obvious pick from day one.
This feels like revisionist history.
I was going to say this one story sounds more believable than the other.
Correct.
Yeah, because producers don't care about stupid, small details.
Not at all.
No.
We have not learned that doing this show at all. But Jones even said on that documentary that he really had to fight hard for her and he never got the credit for casting her. There are a lot of quotes and interviews. I saw a very short clip of her and Howard Stern kind of cringing when Howard Stern even brought up her being in Leprechaun. And again, this is according to Jones. He said that he ran into Jennifer Aniston about 3 years after Friends started, and she is huge. She's a giant star. And she was like, look, because it was both of their first film. Like they were both learning a lot together making this. And he said that it was all love when they ran into each other. And she was like, look, I've been misquoted a lot saying that I deny this movie or I hate this movie. And he was like, look, I'm going to stop you right there. He goes, if I become as successful as you, I'm also going to deny Leprechaun. He's like, there was no hard feelings. But he did say that in Friends, Jennifer Aniston is playing a spoiled brat. Yeah. Rachel, very much, especially in the beginning of the show, is a spoiled brat. And he was like, look, that was us. He's like, he said that Leprechaun launched her career. Like he took full credit for launching her career. I guess. But back to the film. While JD hops out of the Jeep, ready to get the suitcases and grocery bags from the back, Tori exits the vehicle slowly, looking up at the house with disgust. JD plops a grocery bag into her arms and she takes it, but with a hopeful grin, she ventures. This is a joke, right? This is the poor neighbor's house and then he's going to take her to their house?
She is not endearing.
No. When her father only looks wistfully at the house instead of confirming this, Tori's smile drops. As he walks away, JD advises her to never judge a book by its cover, but Tori asserts that this book doesn't even have a cover. And it's funny, this being her first film, she is so what she is always going to be.
Yes.
She really figured out her beats. Like it's the same comedic timing. It's just really funny for how young she was and how early in her career. Yeah. It's like, dude, that's just fucking Jennifer.
Yeah, that's just who you are.
I think that's the thing as well, because I would imagine if you're looking back with like when she was on Howard Stern.
Yeah.
If she's like, oh, I'm cringing because this isn't the performance I would give today or whatever.
No,
it's like, I think it is.
Yeah, it's like you're doing the same thing.
Yeah. That's Rachel.
Yeah.
Her purse dangling from her shoulder on a gold chain, Tori makes her way through the overgrown, crunchy lawn grass in her blue heels. She whines that she's going to be miserable here. There's no swimming pool, no shopping malls, no cable. She's just describing 2027. I'm just kidding. We still have swimming pools.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do we? I think we do.
I think so. She mutters that she bets he doesn't even have a TV. This sure isn't Beverly Hills. She hesitates on the porch before entering, groaning sarcastically that she can't wait to see this house. In the basement, a tarantula slowly crawls across the lid of a wooden crate, past a darkened, wilted 4-leaf clover.
Okay, so it is a total teardown.
I'm on Tori's side.
Yeah. I've switched sides completely.
We pan out, finding the crate and most of the basement to be covered in streams of thick cobwebs. The basement door squeals on its hinges when JD opens it, letting himself and Tori inside. He warns her to be careful as they slowly descend the steps. Tori barks out a humorless laugh, realizing that this is great when she thought the house couldn't get any worse, an old basement. She claps. It's a great place to store all the rocks and pine cones she's going to find.
You don't have to come down here.
Yeah. I know. Look, I know it's not great, but you get to spend time with your dad. We're gonna have fun cleaning this, right?
Fun cleaning?
Please.
Yeah, right?
That's why you're here.
Yes. I need help, right?
Yes.
That is something interesting too. We never find out why Tori's here.
No.
It's like this fish out of water story for her, but it's like, why the hell are you here? I don't understand. JD admits that it's a little dusty, but they can clean it up and slap some paint around. But Tori counters that to fix this place up, he'll have to slap some bulldozers around, which was pretty funny. Oh, I gotta give her that one. When she turns and nearly walks into a hanging cobweb, she cries out. JD smiles that she's making too big a deal of this. It's a great house and he got a great buy on it. Tori wonders, from who? Dracula? She's killing it a little bit. She broaches. How about she goes and gets a hotel in town and her dad can come visit, like once a week? She says that she'll even pay for it. JD asks if she really thinks money is all she needs to get by in this life, and Tori agrees that she'll go with that theory. She looks around the room desperately, and when her eyes fall upon the tarantula scuttling up a wooden beam, she pulls in a panicked gasp and calls out for her father. She says that the spider is huge. It could kill them. Tori announces that she's leaving the basement, going back to the Jeep and making a reservation at the nearest hotel in town. Stomping up the stairs, she declares that this is worse than summer camp. She'd rather sleep in a tent. Alone in the basement now, JD lets out a disappointed sigh.
It's like, thanks a lot, Spider.
Yeah.
You ruined everything.
Yeah, I'll never reconcile with my daughter now. Or whatever is going on.
Whatever's happening. By the time Tori steps out of the front door, she's already on the phone, alerting the person on the other end that they're breaking up. She steps away from the door, gaining her signal back, and she says that she wants to reserve a very tall room.
What?
Yes, your tallest room.
Yeah.
It's a Beverly Hills thing, I guess.
They love tall rooms in Beverly Hills. But she's so distracted by her phone call that she doesn't see Nathan, played by Ken Oland, before walking right into him, causing him to drop the bright blue bucket he was holding.
Ken Oland, he was in April Fool's Day in 86, Summer School in 87, and 48 episodes of Superforce from 90 to 92.
I had never seen him before.
Yeah, me either. And I don't know if it was just me, but it seems like he would be in more stuff.
Yes.
Yeah. And I mean, we already know you're setting up like a romantic thing.
Of course.
You're playing love interest opposite Jennifer Aniston.
Well, he's got cut off sleeves.
He does.
He's-
You know,
we-
what more do you need?
But I was like, did he show up in like further sequels? I know she didn't.
She did not.
No.
One Leprechaun's enough. Thanks. But I was like, I would imagine that he might have been like a mainstay, but I guess,
Right.
you know,
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Well, we really leave the small town. I think in the Leprechaun's on to bigger, better.
That's true. He goes to fucking space.
He goes
Yes,
to space.
yeah.
He goes to the hood. We're out of this neighborhood. As Nathan scoops the bucket back up, Tori is annoyed with him, snapping, "Great! Who are you?" Nathan quips that he was a guy carrying paint thinner. Tori immediately goes into her purse and fishes out a $20 bill. She hands it over, asking if that'll cover it. Nathan tells her to hold on. She knocks over his paint thinner and then offers him $20.
What's the problem?
Yeah.
That's the course of events, yes.
You ruined my stuff and then you pay for it.
What the hell's going on?
Go get more.
Is that how they do it in Beverly Hills? Tori digs back into her purse and takes out another $20. Will that do it? Nathan says no. Maybe if she said she was sorry, it might. Tori looks him up and down, confused before handing over the cash and starting to walk away. She doesn't have time for this. There's a big, ugly, disgusting house she's trying to distance herself from. Nathan is like, this house? The O'Grady place? Tori confirms this, citing that there's bugs and cobwebs and who knows what else inside. Nathan chuckles to himself, finally stopping Tori from her quest to get to the Jeep. She asks, what's so funny? Nathan smiles that it's just funny to him how girls are always afraid of spiders and stuff. Tori walks over to him, making a show of looking around, wondering if she misplaced her 1950s calendar. Girls! She educates Nathan. Listen, bud, this is the 90s. Women are treated equal. Nathan scoffs that his name isn't Bud, it's Nathan. And he doesn't know too many guys who are afraid of houses.
Me.
Present.
Yeah.
I'm afraid of the spiders.
Yeah.
In the house. Tori challenges this. She's not afraid of houses either. She's not afraid of anything. Just then, JD comes out of the house holding Tori's suitcase. He's decided that he's not going to fight her anymore. Tori's like, what do you mean? What are you doing? JD reminds her. She hates the house. It's dirty. It's dusty. Tori asks if he really thinks she's afraid of a little dust and bugs. She flips her hair over her shoulder, eyeing Nathan when she tells her father to put the bags back. She's going to stay. When JD doesn't move, Tori tells him again, just put the bags back. I'm going to stay. She goes back inside the house, closing the door behind her and leaving her confused father to follow with her suitcase. Nathan smirks, walking away with his bucket of spilled paint thinner.
He's like, still got it.
Elsewhere on the property, we find Ozzy, played by Mark Holton, stuffing a stick of gum into his mouth. He talks to a kid, Alex, played by Robert Hy Gorman, who stands in the bed of a pickup truck.
Robert Gorman, I thought he looked very familiar. And I know this kid from when I was a kid.
Really?
So he was in Don't Tell Mom the Babysitter's Dead in 91. Sometimes They Come Back from 91. Rookie of the Year from 93 and Forever Young in 92.
Wow.
Damn, this kid was killing it. There are certain angles where he almost looks like a Culkin to me.
Yes.
Right?
I thought
Okay,
that. Yeah.
okay.
I was like, please don't tell me his father is
I
involved.
know. Actually, my son is the leprechaun. Dangling from a cliff. It's fine.
And each kid can play a piece of gold.
Mark Holton, he was in Teen Wolf in 85, Little Giants in 94. He was Gacy in 03.
Holy shit.
I know this man as Francis Bucktons from Pee-wee's Big Adventure in 85.
Yes. I wonder if the Gacy movie is why he looks so familiar to me.
Okay.
Because I have not seen Pee-wee nearly as much as you have. But smacking on his gum, Ozzy says that there was a flying saucer came right out of the sky with these really weird lights making all these weird noises. As he starts to mimic the robotic noises, Alex pulls his own gum out of his mouth and uses his slingshot to launch it into Ozzy's forehead. Alex reminds Ozzy that he wasn't going to tell any more stories, but Ozzy asserts that this really happened. Alex rolls his eyes while Ozzy pleads that it did. It was like magic. He struggles to think of an example before settling on, it's like when you see the first star in the night sky, you can make a wish and it'll come true. Alex snaps at him to stop with the magic stuff and no more lies. He hops out of the truck with the can of paint, and Ozzy follows behind him with his own can. JD is suddenly in front of them, introducing himself. Pointing a finger down at Alex, he explains that he just met Alex's brother, Nathan. Alex shares his own name and shakes JD's hand before introducing his friend, Ozzy. So I thought we had like jumped to somebody else's house, but they're working on the O'Grady place for JD. It took me until they ran into each other to realize.
The same place?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I almost said same space. I was thinking about what he said about the UFO.
Yeah.
You know, I wonder if maybe that was in there because Jones was a big fan of Critters. Maybe it's like a thing.
Oh, okay.
I love
yeah.
that. I didn't even think that.
I did want to say where this movie was filmed because it is interesting as far as the other things that have been filmed there.
Mm-hmm.
But it was filmed at Big Sky Ranch. It's a movie ranch in Simi Valley, California.
Mm-hmm.
They filmed a ton of TV shows in the 70s and 80s, including Little House on the Prairie there.
Oh, shit.
But we've talked about this place before because it's the same place that they filmed Annabelle Creation.
Oh, shit. that was the decent one.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Everybody calm down. But if it did look a little familiar, that's why.
Okay.
That's cool.
Damn.
Looking around, JD asks if they need some help around here. While Alex thanks him for his offer, he explains that their liability insurance forbids anyone but them handling the tools and equipment. He and Ozzy walk past JD, who departs with a rake in his hand. With a sigh, Alex sits down on the low rung of a ladder propped up against the side of the house. He says that he sure could use a beer right now. Incensed, Ozzy reminds him that he's too little to drink beer. He demands that Alex never, ever touch that stuff. Alex grins and asks Ozzy, "What's this?" He points to Ozzy's shirt, and when Ozzy looks down, Alex uses his finger to thump his nose, declaring, "Gotcha." The two do start to wrestle.
House isn't going to get painted.
No. Seeing the two of them together, at least the way that this scene started, I thought Ozzy was Alex's father.
I thought they were all brothers.
Yeah.
Are they?
No, Ozzy's just their friend.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah, because he explains it later.
He did right now, too. He was like, "This is my friend Ozzy."
Yeah.
Well, he said father in my,
This is my dad.
in my headcanon, yes.
Down in the basement, Tori is descending the stairs in a wonderfully 90s outfit, balancing a tray with two glasses on it, which is funny because you have two hands. You could just hold the glasses.
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little extra.
She's from Beverly Hills. They do things.
All drinks come on trays.
Everything is much cooler.
I'm loving the LA gear. That really took me back.
Yes.
British Nights. Oh, man. I remember I had some of those. I was like, this is fucking great.
She moves slowly and suspiciously, her sneakers creaking against the stairs. When she reaches the bottom, she peers around the dark, cobwebbed basement and calls out for Nathan. We get a shot of the leprechaun breathing heavily in his deep slumber within the crate. It is funny to me that he's just sleeping there. I guess for 10 years. Just been asleep, which does sound kind of nice. But Tori continues to look around, unnerved, gripping both sides of the tray. When a dusty sheet is suddenly thrown onto her, she screams and it falls to the floor, the dropped glasses from the tray shattering. Inside the crate, the leprechaun opens his eyes. Nathan steps over with an apology. He was just looking for tarps. He didn't even know she was down here. Tori explains that she was trying to make a peace offering, but she thinks it all ended up on the crate.
Sorry, we're not spending enough time on Kool-Aid being the thing that awakens this leprechaun. I did. It surprised me.
I was trying to figure out where the hell he jumped down from. Like, were you watching me come down the basement?
I don't know.
I was like, what the fuck?
I don't know if he was on the other side and he just found the tarp and threw it and it hit her. I don't know what the hell's going on.
But we don't hear anything down there.
No, and she even calls him.
Yeah.
I don't know. She says that she hopes she didn't ruin whatever's inside of it. Inside, the leprechaun sits quietly, listening as Nathan assures Tori that she couldn't damage what's in there. The O'Grady's collected a lot of junk. When Tori questions the name, Nathan explains that Dan O'Grady used to own this place. He was a weird and strange guy. Tori's like, "You mean weird and strange, like guys who drive dented pickup trucks and paint houses for a living?" Nathan smiles and laughs a little before deciding that they should just see what's inside the crate. He stops. Unless, of course, Tori is scared.
I hope that she's flirting because
She is.
that really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
Well, like a freak like
Yeah. Who works for a living?
Her voice high. Tori balks at this. Scared? Me? She holds out her hand, inviting him to pass her the crowbar so she can bust it open herself. I'm not going to make the obvious joke here. I'm going to be mature and move on.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, Nathan passes her a hammer. Tori is like, fine, a hammer is good. But before they can get started opening the crate, they hear someone screaming from outside the house. Nathan identifies it as Ozzy's voice and rushes up the stairs with Tori close behind. And it is Ozzy screaming, his entire face, hair, and shoulders covered in blue paint. Alex sits on the ladder in front of the partially blue painted side of the house, quipping that as far as fashion statements go, blue is not Ozzy's color. Pointing at him with his paint roller, Ozzy reminds Alex that he told him to hold that ladder steady. Alex giggles as Ozzy implores him to look at what happened.
This is just maybe personal preference. I understand that they are painters by trade, but if these are the colors they've chosen, this house is going to look like shit.
Maybe that's what JD chose.
Well, his taste is terrible. A sky blue? I'm going to be driving into that thing.
Well, it's on the ground, covered by the brown dirt everywhere.
It'll be
Maybe.
fine. They'll be fine. They'll be fine.
How did that get down here?
Yeah.
They do. They do paint bright red shutters later. So this is,
Oh, great.
Yeah,
Like,
no,
is
you're
this
right. Yeah,
this is a kindergarten
Terrible.
house.
Yeah.
Only primary colors.
Yes. We painted it with crayons.
Once they join the chaos, Nathan adds that he's not even going to ask what happened. Tori informs Ozzy that there's a bathroom inside, off the kitchen. At least it looked a little like a bathroom. She offers a smile, but Ozzy turns back to Alex, asserting that he doesn't even like blue. He throws the paint roller down and stomps into the house. Tori giggles, and she and Nathan share a look. In the basement, though, the leprechaun's eyes are darting back and forth, and a smile is spreading across his lips. He wipes a thick strand of cobwebs away from his face. Ozzy exits the bathroom with his face scrubbed clean. He dries his hair with a towel, but pauses as he crosses the dusty kitchen. A little boy's voice, provided by Brandon Sachs, floats over to him, singing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Once again, the son of Fixer William Sachs, who really hated Leprechaun.
that's wild.
I don't understand. He's like, get both of my kids in this piece of shit.
Yeah.
You hate it. Why do you want
Yeah, that doesn't make any sense.
I don't know. Ozzy looks around, calling out, hello, to the unseen singer. But of course, he receives no response. Ozzy continues toward the front door, but as the score grows dark, the child's voice begins its singing again, and he follows it to the basement door. Ozzy asks, who's in there? But when he receives no response again, he goes to investigate it for himself. After hesitating at the top of the stairs, Ozzy slowly makes his way down, the steps creaking under his feet. The singing stops, and when Ozzy calls out a gentle, hello? There's still no reply. Still, he goes down into the basement, looking at all the stored items and musing, wow, what neat junk. This is when the voice decides to speak up again. Please let me out. Please? Why won't you let me out of this crate? Ozzy turns in the direction of the crate and questions how the child got in there. But the voice just implores him again to let him out. He doesn't like it in here. Please, let him out. Ozzy finally walks over to the crate, brushing the old, dusty four-leaf clover off of its top. It flutters to the ground as Ozzy lowers his head to the top of the crate, calling out, hello? Suddenly, the leprechaun's long-nailed hand juts out of the wood, knocking Ozzy down onto the basement floor.
I know that you didn't know, but goddamn, you just fucked us.
Oh, yeah. yeah, it's done. It's also funny to me that the leprechaun's like, this never fails, dude.
Yeah.
All you got to do is pretend to be a trapped child.
Yeah,
Like, It never fails.
Yeah.
It's the easiest gig. The only thing that he's changed is he's like, I'll be the producer's other child.
Yeah.
That'll do it.
The leprechaun crashes out of the side of the crate. Maybe that's the inspiration he got from the Kool-Aid being spilled.
There you go. Yeah. He's like, oh, yeah.
He strides out to a whistling score and puts his hat atop his head. Ozzy stares at him with wide, horrified eyes as the leprechaun addresses him. Hey, Tubby, you got a light for an old leprechaun's pipe? Rude. He holds the tip of the pipe between his lips and grins at Ozzy before turning his attention to a bug on the sleeve of his coat. He gathers the bug between his fingers and brings it to his lips. The bug squelches loudly between the leprechaun's stubby, discolored teeth. He smacks his snack with a big smile and declares that he's starved. He hasn't eaten in 10 years.
I love that he knows it's been 10 years.
Yeah.
He's marking time.
There's hatch marks inside of the crate.
It's like Old Boy. Crawling back away from him, Ozzy questions, "What are you?" The leprechaun sprints over to Ozzy, the heels of his buckled shoes clacking against the cement floor. He directs Ozzy's attention to the buckle on his hat and the matching ones on his shoes. What does he look like? He's a leprechaun. He grins that he's a shoemaker by trade. And speaking of shoes, Ozzy's could use a shine. He presents Ozzy with a rag and pantomimes shining up his shoes. But first, he wonders with a big smile if Ozzy has seen a crock of gold lying around. Ozzy shakes his head silently, his eyes still wide, and the leprechaun grips the side of his face, causing his head to go still. He demands cheerfully that Ozzy tell him or he'll bite his ear off and make a boot out of it. He giggles.
God damn.
I didn't find it very funny.
Ozzy whimpers before finally pulling away from the leprechaun and scrambling up the stairs. But before he can leave, the leprechaun points his finger, causing a green beam to shoot from it and slam the door. Ozzy is able to simply open the door and run away, and that was hilarious to me, but it's even funnier because angry now, the leprechaun warns that Ozzy only got away because his powers are weak.
Oh, good to know, I guess.
Yeah, thank you for telling us that.
His voice booming, he yells, "I need me gold!" Ozzy flees from the house, screaming that there's a leprechaun in the basement. Nathan tells him to slow down, but Ozzy continues to tell the story in quick, frantic bursts. It came out of a box, and he had long, scary fingers, but he wasn't nice like Lucky Charms. He ate a bug. And which is all true.
Yeah.
Which is all exactly what happened. So I feel really bad for Ozzy. Alex counters, annoyed. A leprechaun? He asks if they can inject a little bit of reality here, please. But Ozzy promises that it really happened. The leprechaun even tried to polish his shoes. Still unconvinced, Alex wonders where the pot of gold is. And Ozzy says that that's what he wants. He wants his pot of gold. Nathan steps past Ozzy, blue paint smeared down his bare arms. When Ozzy doesn't understand where he's going, Nathan explains that they can all go down and check to make Ozzy feel better. But Ozzy implores them not to go in there. Nathan looks around and finds a stick on the ground, arming himself with it, just in case. Blue paint on her own arms from helping out, Tori rushes over to Nathan, deciding that she needs to go with him. And the paint on their arms is so funny because it's not like smears that you would get from actually working.
Yeah.
They're like very neat strips of paint. Alex joins them as they head inside, but Ozzy shakes his head, reasoning that that stick's not going to be big enough. When they ignore him and go into the house anyway, Ozzy decides that he better come too, just in case. Nathan leads Alex, Tori, and Ozzy down the basement stairs. When he sees the remains of the crate, he mutters that Ozzy really busted it up. But Ozzy denies this. He didn't do that. It was the leprechaun. Nathan nods. The leprechaun. After a quick look around, he announces that he doesn't see anything. For a brief moment, we get a POV shot of someone hiding low to the ground as Ozzy pleads his case to Nathan. This guy was real. He had buckles on his shoes and really horrible teeth, all rotten and everything. He says that he must never brush them.
The POV shot cracked me up. Yeah. Because I'm like, you're still here?
Yeah.
You didn't use this opportunity to try to
Get away.
Yeah.
Tori looks at him contemplatively, but when they hear rattling elsewhere in the basement, she turns in that direction. Ozzy is certain. That's him. He's going to kill every one of them, and Ozzy's going to be first. He stands back with Tori while Nathan and Alex go to investigate. When Alex tells Ozzy to come over in a whisper, Ozzy declares that he's not going into that dark corner. Shaking her head and taking a step closer to Ozzy, Tori agrees that she's not either. Something crashes loudly, and when Alex tries to go ahead of Nathan, Nathan pulls him back so he can look first. He leans forward into the shadows, and the music mounts as everyone waits expectantly. But what pops up into view is just a rat. Tori gasps, but Nathan and Alex dismiss it. Nathan assumes that they've just found Ozzy's leprechaun, but Ozzy stammers out his denial. They don't understand. The leprechaun was bigger than that. But satisfied that they've solved the mystery, Tori asks if they can just get out of here. She hurries up the stairs and the rest of them follow. If I'm Ozzy, I'm not fucking with any of y'all ever again.
No, hell no.
I know what a rat is.
Yeah.
It's not even green. It's not even wearing a hat. Like, Jesus.
Right? There's no buckles on his shoes.
No.
He clearly described the buckles. Outside, a rainbow suddenly arches across the sky, but the only one that notices is Ozzy. He points it out, telling everyone to look, but Alex asks, so what? It's just a rainbow.
There are a few symbols associated
Yeah.
that everybody knows are leprechaun based.
I don't know, because I feel like I would feel some kind of way where he's just something about leprechauns. This fucking rainbow just showed up.
Yes.
Even if you're skeptical, it's
Yeah.
like, well, that's weird.
All right.
Yes, that's very weird. Yes.
Ozzy corrects Alex. It's a magic rainbow. Leprechauns and rainbows, it's a sign. Nathan agrees that it is a sign to get back to painting. He tells Ozzy to come on, but Ozzy says no. They need to see what's at the end of the rainbow. Alex warns in a whisper that Ozzy is embarrassing him, but Ozzy asks Alex to come with him. They have to get to the end of the rainbow. There will be a pot of gold. He starts to run away. Alex turns to Nathan, shaking his head that Ozzy is so easily sidetracked. He assures his brother that, like always, he'll take care of it and get Ozzy back on the job. He sprints off after his friend, leaving Nathan to call after him. But Tori tells him to just let them go chase their rainbows. She and Nathan can get the painting done. She holds up the paint can in her hand, wondering, this is biodegradable, right? Meanwhile, Alex is still chasing Ozzy through the field, crying out that you can't find the end of a rainbow. Ozzy slips and falls, but he has found the end of it. The beams of colorful light end at a rusted out abandoned truck. Ozzy points it out, and even Alex has to agree that it does look like it's ending there. As the rainbow fades away, Ozzy whines mournfully, but he gets back up and leads Alex over to the truck, cautioning him not to cut himself on any of that rusted metal, because if he does, it'll lock his jaw shut. But Alex thinks it's cool. He has an idea for them to hotwire the truck, but Ozzy doesn't think the battery will be any good.
Just going to steal the truck?
Alex is like, let's get the fuck out of here. But something glimmers in the truck seat, drawing Ozzy's attention. And wouldn't you know, it's a gold coin. Ozzy marvels at it, but Alex immediately grabs at him, demanding that he give it to him. Ozzy scrambles away from Alex, assuring him that he just wants to look at it for a minute and he promises to get it back. Ozzy runs to the other side of the truck, and Alex jumps behind the wheel, reaching for Ozzy through the window. When he snatches the coin from Ozzy's grip, Ozzy joins him inside the cab. Suddenly, after a flash of light, a brown satchel appears behind the seat. Alex hands the coin back over and snatches up the bag, finding it filled to the brim with gold coins. Ozzy reminds Alex that he told him before realizing, the this is what that leprechaun was talking about.
Yeah.
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 This, I don't understand this though, that the rainbow led Ozzy here, but it wouldn't lead the leprechaun here. Like, aren't the rainbows on your side? Or no?
I don't know how it works.
Or are rainbows only for us?
Well, yeah, because I think that's how we find it.
So
They're like, I know where I put my gold.
Yeah.
but he doesn't.
Well, so that's the other thing, though. So you're
this is
telling
where
me
O'Grady hid it.
he hid it in this truck?
O'Grady did.
I know, but this is
Yeah.
a terrible hiding spot.
It is. It is.
Leprechaun can find it.
Yes, well, he's been in a crate for 10 years.
But that does. But I think you're right then.
Huh.
So O'Grady did get it fair and square.
Yeah.
If he was able to hide it and Leprechaun couldn't find it, then and the rainbow showed them.
Yes. The leprechaun is just breaking the rules is what's going on. 'Cause
Yeah.
He
He's
even
a
said
cheater.
straight up, he was like, I caught him and then I forced him to lead me to his
Well,
goal.
forced is probably.
Well, he explicitly said,
like,
I made him show me where.
Maybe that was the wrong.
Put a
choice of
gun
words.
to his back. He's like, show me your fucking gold. And so, but yeah, that's how it's supposed to work. And then he even said the night of, he was like,
Those are the rules.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the leprechaun is just bad.
I think this guy might be a real jerk.
Yeah.
Angry, Alex snaps at him to stop with the stupid leprechaun stuff. They found this gold. Finders, keepers.
Dude, you know that wasn't there.
No.
Now there was a beam of light.
Yes. Dude, I'm sorry. People are really discounting a lot of this lore and symbolism.
Yes.
I saw a leprechaun. You have to believe me because we did just follow a rainbow to a bag of gold.
Yes, you're correct. You're correct.
Sitting against the side of the truck, Alex rifles through the coins, reasoning that he just hopes it's real. Ozzy slides out of the truck too, remembering that he knows how to tell if it's real because he's seen it in a movie. You just bite on it. Ozzy sinks his teeth into the coin, but somehow in the next shot, he is choking on the coin. He gulps it down, and Alex is like, nice going, Jaws, which did make me Worried, Ozzy asks if you can die from swallowing gold. Alex says that he can because he's going to kill him. He hands some of the gold to Ozzy and offers to take charge himself. He's going to keep one coin to get it checked out in town. Sliding it into his pocket, he decides that they've got to hide the rest and they can't tell anyone else about it. Ozzy agrees. Right. Why? Ozzy says that Ozzy knows how adults are, especially when it comes to money. They're just going to try to take it away. He realizes that he knows the perfect place to hide it, the old well by the house. And this made me think of house.
Ah.
I mean, because there was a well in there.
Uh-huh.
Because we also put things up.
That's right.
It hits him. Does Ozzy know what this means? Ozzy does. They're rich and he can buy comics every week. He stands, clutching the satchel, and as they start to walk away, Alex agrees that that's true. But does Ozzy know what else it means? They can get Ozzy an operation to make him smart. They can go to the hospital and have them operate to fix Ozzy's brain. Looking down, Ozzy stops walking and counters. But I'm smart. Alex says that he is. Sort of. What he means is they can make him really smart and people won't make fun of him. Ozzy's like, they make fun of me? Alex dismisses this, not in front of him, only behind his back. He starts away, climbing up the hill and asserting that they need to get to the well. But Ozzy stays behind for a second, digesting what he's just been told and the gold coin he's just swallowed. Alex tells him to come on, snapping him out of his thoughts, and the two climb the hill together. That was sad.
Yeah. Damn, dude.
Just behind your back.
Yeah. Outside the house, Tori is haphazardly painting the shutters a bright red.
Yeah, this is a problem. It's fucking cartoon house.
Nathan stops her and instructs her to start in the corners and paint in nice, even strokes. And he seems impressed when Tori gets it immediately. He marvels that she's a regular Picasso and she's going to put him out of business. Tori smiles, beaming proudly. He realizes that they need another can of paint, and Tori hands over her paintbrush, slyly inviting him to watch how a pro gets a can of paint. Nathan walks away to get a towel as Tori strides to his truck, where the paint cans still sit in the bed. But as she lifts up onto her tiptoes, we peer underneath the truck where the leprechaun lurks, dragging himself along the dirt until he reaches Tori's legs. He reaches out a clawed finger to stroke the soft skin of her shin. Tori just smiles at this and is like, Nathan.
So he ran and fucking slid under the...
Yeah,
Is
I
what
guess.
you think?
Yeah.
Still grinning, she asks him what he's doing, but she's horrified when she turns to find that Nathan has already returned to the house. He is not under the truck. Immediately panicked, she whispers, "Oh my God." And the leprechaun takes this opportunity to dig his nails into her, clawing deep scratches into her leg. Tori screams and falls backward. Nathan and JD both rush to her aid, and when Tori explains that she thought it was Nathan rubbing her leg, his concern drops and is replaced by intrigue. And you let me?
What the fuck?
She's like, I'm bleeding.
JD eyes Nathan sourly as Tori asserts that that's not the point. Something was caressing her leg and then it ran off. JD proposes that it was just an old possum, but Tori isn't buying it. It wasn't an animal. She knows what it feels like when a man caresses her leg. JD shifts his attention to her. You do?
Yeah, whoa. Like, hey.
Tori doesn't answer. Nathan suggests that they get the cuts cleaned up, and JD agrees, volunteering to go look for the animal. As they pull her to her feet, Tori asks why, and she's dismayed when she receives the answer. Rabies. A cat meows in the distance, and JD laughs that they've found Tori's secret admirer. While Tori is still positive that it was not a cat, JD is distracted by the fact that it sounds hurt. We cut to JD sticking his hand into the knothole of a tree, trying to coax the cat out while Tori and Nathan stand by and watch.
This is a brilliant tactic to retrieve a cat who you believe to be rabid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, I just... Really? You're on a farm or something, right?
Yeah, I know we've seen this before and other stuff, but I don't know. There's a lot of things I'll do. Putting my hand inside that hole, that tree hole. No. Yeah, I don't.
The cat continues its mewling from inside the tree, and JD's gentle pleas suddenly turn to screams. He rips his hand from the hole and finds it bloody and bitten. He holds out his trembling hand, a bite sunk into the softness in the side of his palm. And this is not a cat bite.
No.
This is a full set of humanish teeth.
Yeah.
We peer through the knothole to find not a troubled cat, but the leprechaun on the other side, smiling brightly and licking his bloody lips.
In a composite shot.
Yeah.
Filmed on a different day.
Yeah.
To be clear. Cradling his hand and still crying out in pain, JD allows himself to be led away by Tori and Nathan. Tori, JD, and Nathan pile into the cab of the truck, while Alex and Ozzy jump into the bed. Tori assures her father that they're going to get him to a hospital, but when Nathan sticks his key into the ignition and turns it, the engine stalls. He calls out to Alex, who is already hopping out of the truck bed, identifying the issue as the distributor cap. He throws up the hood to fiddle around inside, and when he closes it and returns to the truck bed, Nathan turns his key and it starts right up. They speed away. Meanwhile, the giggling leprechaun disappears into the barn. When the door swings open again, he is sitting astride a tricycle, cackling as he speeds away down the dirt road that the truck just took.
He's a damn fool.
He is.
Like, that's
He is. And I thought that you could teleport.
He's still weak.
yeah.
In town, Nathan parks in front of the hospital. Tori and JD head inside while Nathan addresses Alex and Ozzy. He thinks it might take a while, so he tells them to get a bite to eat at the cafe. Alex and Ozzy agree, but as soon as Nathan rushes inside the hospital, Alex reports to Ozzy that now's their chance. Ozzy questions, to get something to eat? But Alex corrects him, to check out the gold coin. He implores his friend to hurry because it's getting dark. They rush away. And I'm sorry to any big fans of JD that we have listening. We never see this man again.
Well, he's in hospital.
He's recovering. I was so surprised.
Yeah.
I thought at least at the end or something.
Yeah.
No, that's a picture wrap on JD.
That's it.
We find them outside of Joe's Collectibles and Coins, just as the shop owner, played by John Volstad, turns the sign in the window from open to closed. Not to be deterred, Alex taps on the window with his coin, and the shop owner immediately lets him and Ozzy inside. But we pan over to find a silhouette of the Leprechaun in the alley next to the store. His shadow imprinted on the dumpster. He chuckles and chirps the bell of his tricycle. So is that his tricycle?
That he stashed?
How could it be?
He was in a suitcase.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's O'Grady's tricycle?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe they had children.
Maybe.
How long have they lived there?
Well, they did say that they collected a lot of shit, so.
Okay.
They stole a kid's
Yeah.
They
tricycle.
stole a tricycle from a child and put it in their barn.
And the leprechaun's aware of it.
Yeah.
knows-
For this moment.
Yes.
Yeah. In the shop, the owner uses a magnifying glass to examine the gold coin. Odd, he admits that he's never seen anything like this with its strange markings. Annoyed, Alex demands that he cut to the chase. What's it worth? The owner mulls it over. If it's solid gold, it could be worth $500. Alex's face brightens into a smile, and the owner adds, but if there's historical value, it could be priceless. He asks if he can keep it for the night to study it. Worried, Ozzy makes sure that he won't lose it, and the shop owner assures him that he won't. He's going to put it in his safe. After he writes them a receipt, Ozzy ventures a question. Does he reckon that coin might have come from a leprechaun? The shop owner looks up at him, puzzled, and when Alex doesn't offer a comment, Ozzy dismisses his own question with, never mind. Moving on, Alex tells the shop owner that they'll be back tomorrow, insisting that they can just keep this between them. The shop owner agrees to the terms and hands Alex the written receipt. Alex takes it and tells Ozzy to come on. They're going to be pissed they've been gone for so long. Ozzy follows, and the bell over the door chimes as he and Alex make their exit. Alone now, the shop owner slides on his glasses and goes to a drawer to take out a thick book. He flips through until he finds a page filled with identifications and depictions of gold coins. He holds up the coin Alex gave him for reference, but his concentration is broken by the bright buzzing bell of a tricycle. The shop owner sets his book and glasses to the side and goes to investigate, peering up the stairs and behind his counter. When he doesn't see anything, he assures himself that he's just hearing things. He cuts the investigation short and instead kneels in front of his safe and begins to turn the dial. But the bell rings again as a tricycle is pushed into view, gently colliding with the shop owner. This makes him stand up with a confused expression. Holding the tricycle by a handle, he sets it to the side and begins to look around the small shop again. He's quickly satisfied that there's nothing there and returns to the safe, muttering the combination to himself as he twists the dial.
Is it just me, or does it look like he's got a fat suit on?
It looks like he's wearing padding, for sure.
Right, something.
For sure.
It's noticeable.
I think that there might be something in store for his middle.
Yes.
And we're softening the blow, maybe.
Like, we only have one evening to film this. So.
Finally, he pulls open the heavy door to his safe, only for the leprechaun to pop out from inside with a hiss. So now he can teleport.
Yes.
It's back.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
He places his hat atop his head as he advances on the shop owner, his voice gruff when he declares, "I want me gold coin." The shop owner backs away, whimpering, but the leprechaun takes a bite at a crime. And by crime, I mean the shop owner's leg. So this dude is just on a biting frenzy.
You got a taste for it now.
He's scratching, he's biting.
He said he was hungry.
He did. He did.
The shop owner goes down, crying out in pain. But when he hits the ground, he holds out his hand for the leprechaun to snatch his coin back. It's like
Well, here, get the
dude.
fuck out of
Which
here.
again, if the leprechaun was playing fair, this should have been the end of it.
Yeah.
This is all the gold that he has.
Right.
Blood staining his lips and teeth, the leprechaun rejoices. Me coin! He worries that it's not nice to steal gold coins from a leprechaun. Bad shop owner. Bad shop owner. He cackles as the shop owner continues to groan and cradle his leg. But as the leprechaun rushes away, he promises that he'll be back. And by be back, he's not leaving. He finds a red pogo stick propped against the wall and he grabs it, deciding now that they're going to play. Does the shop owner want to play with him? He hops over in slow motion to the shop owner, still writhing on the floor. He screams, "No!" But the leprechaun uses the pogo stick to jump onto his possibly padded chest, hopping up and down, crushing his ribs and causing blood to seep and spurt through his yellow shirt. As he bounces, he sings joyfully. This old lep, which fucking took me out. That did make me laugh. He played one. He played pogo on his lung.
Okay.
It's all right.
It's not great, but yeah, but at least I'm getting something.
Yes. So look, I haven't made a rhyme in 10 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's not strong enough.
No, yeah. I'm still very weak.
We press in on the shop owner's bleeding face as his head finally slumps to the side and he goes still and silent. The leprechaun mutters, "Teach you to steal me gold," and he chuckles darkly. So this more was added to this to make it bloodier and a little more gruesome when they were trying to change it from PG-13 to R.
Yeah. But he didn't steal it.
He did not. He didn't.
He didn't. And I don't know if you guys have, but have you ever seen a pogo stick death?
No, that's new.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, I have not.
And what's so special about it? It's at a collectibles shop, this pogo stick. Or is this how Joe gets to work?
Oh, wow.
I mean, I don't know. He's very unique.
Which is even worse. That's his personal pogo stick. That's just mean.
Wow.
It was in the office.
That's just mean. When the leprechaun hops off the pogo stick, he notices the blood stains on the shop owner's shoes and laments that we can't have that. He grabs one of the shop owner's legs and using his rag, gives the shoe a quick polish before releasing the leg and letting it thud to the ground. He reasons, "There, nice and shiny. He'll bounce back in no time."
What?
Well, you got a pogo thing. That's-
Yeah,
Okay.
That's fair. Jones had said that the producers did not like the shoe shining shit, and they really didn't like kind of a focus on his shoe shining later on. And they told him multiple times to cut it, but he didn't. And then the shoe shining specific scene that I'm talking about, I will point out, but he said that the audience cracked up the entire time.
Well, it's in that leprechaun lore.
Yes,
Right,
that's why
yes.
he fought to keep it in, but they were like, "No, like that's ridiculous."
Well,
Which it
yeah.
is.
Yeah.
But the movie's ridiculous.
It is. You know, I was thinking the actor that plays Ozzy would go on to play Pogo.
Ah,
Okay.
Interesting.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. But the leprechaun turns his attention to the coin in his hand, tossing it into the air and quickly catching it. 1 down, 99 to go. The leprechaun takes a quick look around the shop before noticing a toy car parked against the wall with a stuffed animal behind the wheel. He proclaims, "By the luck of the Irish." He shoots a look at his tricycle before walking toward the toy car. I don't know if this was a goodbye.
I think
That'll do big.
Yeah.
we spent a lot more time than I thought watching this leprechaun upgrade vehicles.
Yeah. No, wow.
Because this isn't the last time.
He's getting stronger.
He is, yes.
I guess.
Like, I need a better
Yeah.
means of conveyance.
The neon sign for the famous Saugus Cafe glows in the night, and inside, the tables and counter are packed. Nathan and Tori sit in one of the booths next to a window. Tori looks fretfully outside and consults her watch as the waitress, played by Heather Kennedy, places mugs on their table. Nathan drinks quietly from his, and Tori breaks the silence. She asks if he's sure he told Alex and Ozzy where this place is because they were supposed to meet them ages ago. Nathan tells her to relax. They're kids. They probably stopped off to buy Ozzy a comic book or something.
They're kids. Ozzy's like 35.
Yeah.
That's Alex's father.
Yeah.
Tori sighs. What a night. It's her first day here and her father ends up in the hospital. Nathan reminds her that it's just for observation. He'll be fine by morning. I was surprised that they admitted him and kept him overnight.
Yeah.
You said a rabbit cat did this?
A rabbit cat with human teeth.
And you heard it laughing inside of a space portal or something?
Wasn't really there.
Yeah. I'm very confused by what you're telling me.
Get in the bed. You're not going anywhere. As Tori rips open a tea bag to set into her mug, Nathan implores her to look on the bright side. The worst is over. This seems to settle Tori. However, on the road, the leprechaun is somehow zooming at top speed in that little toy car. The stuffed animal is riding shotgun, so at least he's not alone.
Yeah.
Deputy Trippett, played by David Permenter, sits behind the wheel of his cruiser, keeping an eye on the road while he munches on a donut. He takes notice when he sees the tiny headlights of the toy car, and when it flies by, Deputy Trippett turns on his lights and gives chase. Shockingly, the leprechaun does pull over.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you got to obey the law.
I was going to say he still has to.
Trippett gets out of his cruiser and strides over to the toy car. The lights of the police car flickering against his face. Trippett looks down at the leprechaun, wondering, aren't we a little young to be out this late? Grinning up at the officer, the leprechaun counters this. No, I'm 600 years old.
All right.
That's a good answer,
Yeah.
I guess.
I mean, really, that decade was kind of just a nap for him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't feel as bad for him. This pisses the officer off, though. He calls the leprechaun a smartass and kicks his car, earning a hiss from the leprechaun. He orders that he take off that ridiculous mask and step out. Peering up at the deputy, the leprechaun warns that it's not nice to make fun of a leprechaun. Trippett kneels, chuckling. Is that so? So now you're a leprechaun, huh?
He never claimed to be anything else.
Yeah.
You said I was a child.
Yeah, he did.
But the leprechaun goes,
Oh, all right.
He suddenly strikes out and grabs the deputy's face with his clawed hand. So in the PG-13 version, this is where the scene ends.
Oh.
But in this version, Trippett screams and thrashes, trapped in his grip and defenseless when the leprechaun spots the gun on his hip with excitement. He easily plucks it out of the holster. When the leprechaun finally lets go, blood runs down Trippett's face, and there are wounds from the long nails puncturing him. Deputy Trippett screams and falls out of view.
He was trying to take his face off. Yeah.
Back at the diner, Nathan is going to town on a plate of meatloaf. He looks up at Tori and asks if she's sure she doesn't want anything. Tori says that she doesn't, before quickly correcting that she actually does. What she wanted was a watercress salad and an Evian water, but they don't have that here. They only have cheap whiskey and warm beer. Nathan plucks up one of the red plastic cups from the table and sets it in front of Tori, offering her the water. Tori moves it away from her and offers a sarcastic, "Thanks." In a frantic POV, we are suddenly sprinting through the woods. We find Deputy Trippett with his bleeding face running through the trees. But behind one of the trees he passes, the leprechaun lurks and races after him gleefully. The deputy pleads, "Get away from me, you little creep!" But the leprechaun doesn't let up.
I do want to applaud the Evil Dead style camera.
Yes.
Very cool. But this again, dude, he has nothing to do with your gold.
No.
Yeah.
Like all he did was pull you over, which I understand is an inconvenience. But you're chasing after him through the woods.
Yeah.
And what I will say again, that little bit at the end when like the leprechaun grabs his gun and like scratches up his face and all that was added. This entire scene with the chase was added. None of this was in the original version.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I get that it's tacked on because it doesn't.
It feels
Yeah.
weird and it
goes
feels
on.
real long.
Too long.
Yeah.
Yes, too long.
It feels real
Yeah.
long. Trippett takes a customary horror movie fall before scrambling back to his feet and continuing to sprint away. He finally stops, hiding behind a tree and blinking the blood out of his eyes as he arms himself with his club. The leprechaun stops laughing, having lost sight of his prey. He looks around, realizing, "You want to play hide and seek, huh?" He cackles as he rushes out of sight. Trippett peeks around his cover, but the leprechaun is nowhere to be seen. He squeezes his eyes shut and counts to 3 in a whisper before running away. He comes to a skidding stop when he sees the leprechaun's hat sitting on the ground. He readies his club, bracing himself for the confrontation, but the leprechaun is still out of sight. When Trippett picks up the hat to inspect it, the leprechaun finally jumps into view from behind a tree, calling out, "Over here!" He laughs loudly and hides again. The deputy looks around frantically, disoriented when the leprechaun is popping out impossibly from different trees and taunting him. His laughter echoes through the woods with no way to pinpoint the source location. Trippett begs the leprechaun to leave him alone before launching his club, his last means of self-defense, into the trees. Why are we doing that?
I don't know.
A shimmering sound rings out as the leprechaun jumps again into view and runs away. For some reason, thinking he's gone for good, Deputy Trippett slides down and sits against the tree, catching his breath. He lets a smile come to his face and allows himself a small laugh of relief as he thanks God. But of course, the leprechaun was not gone for good. He slides down the tree above the deputy and lands on his shoulders, gripping his head and face before twisting and breaking his neck.
Yeah.
Was anyone else a little surprised?
Yes.
I feel like every other death has been at least a little whimsical with the pogo stick and whatnot.
Right, right.
But-
Well, they're like, "You want an R rating? We'll give you a fucking R rating."
I almost thought he was going to like rip his head off or something.
Right.
But it just,
He
him
breaks his
breaking
neck.
it, I was just like, oh.
It was a stealth kill.
Yeah.
The deputy slumps forward dead, and the leprechaun cackles that was fun. At the cafe, Nathan remarks that Tori looks a little skinny. He cuts pieces of his meatloaf and sets it on another plate, adding, "No offense, but she should have some." That's fucking annoying. Her face scrunched in disgust, Tori immediately refuses his offer. She asks, "Does he know what that is?" Nathan does. It's meatloaf. But Tori corrects him. It's cut up dead cow. And that's if he's lucky. She shares that she doesn't eat meat. She doesn't kill living things, and she feels very strongly about that. Nathan is like, "Really?" And Tori doubles down. "Really?" Nathan seems to relent, but Tori cries out when he grabs her foot from under the table. He pulls off her sneaker and holds it up, musing, "Cut up dead cow. That's what her shoe is, too." Tori just tells him to give it back, and when Nathan continues to hold it, she snatches it away.
What's wild is he does this over his food, and I was like,
Yeah.
oh, no.
Yeah, don't
That's
do
a
that.
shoe. Yeah, no.
That's a
Hold them-
shoe.
No.
Hold those shoes over
No.
your food.
He's like, "I'm making a point."
Yeah.
Putting it back on, she points out that Ozzy and Alex are coming, and she implores him to try to set a mature example. Nathan just goes back to eating his meatloaf with an enthused, mmm. Ozzy sits next to Nathan, and when Alex settles in next to Tori, she demands to know where he's been. Ozzy explains vaguely that they went down to that place. Alex kicks him under the table, and Ozzy can't help but cry out, "Ow!" The leprechaun has made his way back to the O'Grady house. Which, if you were going to do this anyway, why did you follow them?
That's
Yeah.
You didn't need to go to town.
Dude, and all the time you're wasting, they've already spent all of your gold.
Yeah,
for all you
no,
know.
No shit.
You know?
Yeah.
He crawls in through the window, wondering, where's me crock of gold? He pulls a stepladder to the kitchen counter and climbs up, searching through the cobwebbed cabinets. He pulls out boxes of cereal, tossing them to the floor, but he pauses on a red box of Lucky Clovers. A mischievous blonde leprechaun grins from his perch on the name, sprinkling down clovers. The leprechaun chuckles at this before digging into the box and pulling out a handful of cereal and colorful marshmallows. He shoves them into his mouth, only to be disgusted, spit them out, and throw the box onto the floor. This was cheeky. It was funny.
But how old is that food? Like, how long
At least
has that
10
been there
years.
for?
That's
You
true.
just get
Oh,
in
no.
there and
I
eat it?
think this is new because she makes a comment about being mad at her dad for buying groceries. So maybe...
Okay.
Why?
I know.
Yeah.
So maybe this is new.
Okay,
I
okay.
don't know. Maybe he just doesn't like, what is it? Lucky Clover?
Lucky Clovers.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's safe. It's not.
Yes.
It's close, but not too close. Disappointed in the cabinet, he shifts his search to the drawers, throwing everything out onto the floor until he finds a hand mirror. He lifts it, only to be startled and scream at his own reflection. But he peers into the mirror again, this time grinning and seemingly more pleased with what he sees as he smooths his eyebrows. He throws the mirror back into the drawer. Grunting with effort, he then lines up several pairs of shoes onto the tabletop, housing a shoe shine kit. He spit shines a pair of boots before taking care to polish Tori's blue heels with his hot breath. He's on the clock.
Yeah.
I was like, does it help him think or like what?
I don't know.
He
I don't
can't help
know.
himself, and we need to establish that now.
Well, but if
So
he
it's a
can't,
fetish.
Maybe. He's like, I can't help
Yeah.
myself. I feel like this, then we should use it more as a distraction constantly
Yeah.
for this thing.
They haven't
Yeah.
figured it out yet.
Uh-huh. Well, but he already offered Ozzy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ozzy was a little taken aback.
That's true. There's a lot
He's
going
like,
on.
look, guys, he's expressed one interest in me.
We might be able to use it against him.
Later, Tori, Nathan, Ozzy, and Alex return to the house to find it trashed. The casualties of the leprechaun's careless search are strewn across the kitchen floor. The fridge door stands open, and the polished shoes are lined up neatly on the kitchen table. Astonished, Nathan and Tori look around as Ozzy realizes that he thinks something got in here. Alex turns to him. No shit, Sherlock. And offended, Ozzy points his finger at the child, admonishing him and demanding that he wash out his mouth with soap right now. Alex agrees, and right after that, he'll be sure to ground himself for 2 weeks. He smacks Ozzy with his 49ers hat, and a stunned Ozzy offers no reply.
I know, like, you can be fans of any team in any state at all, but it's really funny that we're still pretending this is North Dakota and he's like,
He's in a Niners hat.
you're in California.
Yeah.
Just admit it.
And thinking about it now as we're talking about it, Nathan's supposed to be his brother. Why are you not saying anything to him?
I don't know.
That's true.
Like, I don't
Ozzy's
ever,
the only one
yeah,
that
I don't ever feel that big brother energy.
No.
There's never him saying anything like, calm down, little brother. Or,
Yeah.
Or any kind of, he's just like, watch out.
And-
And that's it.
And dude, poor Ozzy, why are we friends? Like, you treat me like shit.
Yeah.
He does treat him
Yeah.
bad.
You
And
stole all the gold, and then you're like, here, take one. And then I ate it, and then you made fun of me. And then now you're like, no shit. And I'm just like,
Yeah.
I'm trying to
Yeah.
help.
yeah.
I feel like they almost play more as brothers than Alex
Right.
and Nathan do.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe in some drafts they might have been because of that line about they're kids. They're probably doing
Yeah.
comic.
Right.
It's like, he is not a kid.
Right.
So maybe they were.
Well, or maybe he's belittling him.
Okay.
Or you know what I mean? Just like dismissing him. He's like,
So
they
everybody,
both get distracted, whatever.
Okay. I do wonder, though, because of something that happens later, if maybe Ozzy was supposed to be a kid, but
Okay.
he couldn't.
Okay.
Okay. Tori stands at the table and picks up one of her blue heels. She asserts that this is crazy. What the hell is going on here? Nathan offers that it could have been a bear. And, okay, he says that they sometimes come down from the hills looking for food. Somehow accepting this, Tori mutters that that's great. Her father just had to bring food into this place with, yeah, he did because you live here. But the bear thing, sure. I've never seen a bear neatly polish and line up shoes on a table.
Yeah.
You haven't?
I've never seen
Yeah.
that.
Dude, isn't that what Yogi's about? He steals picnic baskets. He shines shoes, stacks them ever so neatly with Boo Boo.
Yeah.
Not with Boo Boo. No, I don't remember that.
Oh,
But she's just like, oh, okay. It's like, dude, you guys all left in a rush together. You know it wasn't like this.
no.
Yeah, that's my thing. It's like, the bear didn't break in here and shine those shoes.
No, and again, I understand for whatever reason, I guess Ozzy's been crying wolf for years about a lot of different things.
Uh-huh.
Right.
But aren't things lining up in a very strange way
Yeah.
to
yeah.
what he said exactly?
Right.
So now we've got a rainbow,
Gold.
a sack
Yeah.
of gold, and polished shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All signs are really pointing to one
Yeah.
thing. Ozzy steps over to Tori, confiding that the leprechaun tried to shine his shoes. He said he was a shoemaker. Tori reasons that they can sit around here and theorize, bear or no bear, but she's getting out of here. She sets the shoe down and announces that she's walking out that door and she's not coming back. As promised, she steps out the side door and lets it close behind her. Nathan and Ozzy only have time to exchange a look before Tori walks back inside, deciding that it's a little too dark out there.
That cracked me up, I will say. But it was very laugh track goes
Yeah.
Yeah.
here. She's
So
ready
true.
for friends.
Yeah. Nathan proposes that they get this cleaned up. He hands a broom to Tori, reasoning that she knows how to use one of these, right? She snatches it from him wordlessly, and we press in on her worried face. After an atmospheric shot of the bright moon, we return to the kitchen, now cleaned of the leprechaun's mess. Nathan and Tori walk out of it, and when Nathan declares that they're finally done, Tori grins that she's starting to get the hang of the broom. It's funny that we just skipped the cutscene,
Yeah.
the cleaning cutscene. But the lightheartedness is broken by the sound of a bike bell. When Tori asks what that was, Nathan says that it sounds like a bell. They walk together to investigate, and the bell chimes again. Nathan and Tori slowly approach one of the bedrooms, and they're startled when Ozzy steps out. He invites them to look at what he found. He holds a silver bike bell in his hands and coaxes another ring from it. After resting her cheek briefly against Nathan's shoulder, Tori grits her teeth and offers that that's great, Ozzy. She releases her grip on Nathan's arm when he speaks up that he's going to go look at the bedrooms to find where they're going to stay tonight. Tori says that while he does that, she's going to go find her purse and check into a hotel. They part ways. Ozzy and Alex sit in the cobwebbed living room. His voice in a whisper, Ozzy asks Alex if he thinks he could kill a leprechaun. Alex says that you can kill anything. You just have to know how to do it. For him, he'd take a .357 Magnum, press it to the little green critter's temple, and blam! He describes the brains and guts and oozing green stuff that would go dripping down his head. Ozzy hangs his own head and nods before settling back down onto the couch. The bike bell rings again as Nathan and Tori enter the room with Tori's purse slung over her shoulder. Annoyed, she pleads with Ozzy to stop with that stupid bell. But Ozzy isn't ringing the bell. It sits on the end table between him and Alex, and they eye it nervously as the ringing emanates again and again. Nathan says that it sounds like it's coming from the kitchen. He walks past Tori to go look.
The dramatic press in on the bell was pretty funny.
Yeah, it was.
In the kitchen, Nathan moves slowly and the suspenseful score swells. Just before he reaches the back door, he turns to find Ozzy, Tori, and Alex standing in a row, staring at him quietly. Her eyes wide, Tori admits that they're like really scared. This was funny.
Yes.
Nathan tells them to stay here and he'll go check it out, but Tori cautions him to be careful. He takes his jacket off the hook and heads outside.
It's something about him grabbing his jacket before
It's
going
cold
off
outside.
into maybe death or maybe whatever. and I know I get it, but to know how to be like, oh, I might need this. It might be chilly.
Right. I feel like the adrenaline would be too much to be like, it might be cold outside.
Well, it's like you're not taking this seriously.
No.
If you're not already profusely sweating, you're not
Yes,
taking
yeah.
this seriously. On the porch, Nathan shines a flashlight into the night, but there is no sight of anything, and the only sound is the insistent chirping of insects. Nathan steps off the porch and walks around to the side of the house, shining his light diligently as he ducks beneath a clothesline and walks in steady, measured steps. Somehow, he trips over something and goes down, his leg landing right in an open and waiting bear trap.
I can't believe this.
No.
So you're telling me after he satisfied his foot fetish, he went outside
Yeah.
and lined the property with traps?
Yes.
More foot stuff.
Yeah. It's like, I'm still on brand.
Yeah.
Nathan cries out in pain when its metal teeth snap and bite into his flesh. This is when the leprechaun comes trotting into view, cackling and singing that he got him with the bear trap. That'll make him shut his trap. He got him in the bear trap. He looks like a stupid sap.
Rhyming trap with trap. Mwah! Again, I'm really fucking surprised that he's just out here showing his whole face and ass.
Yeah.
Like,
All of it.
He's a leprechaun.
yeah. Not even trying to hide that Ozzy's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nathan continues to grunt and cry out as he tries to shine the light in the leprechaun's face. With his bright plastic stethoscope around his neck, the leprechaun comments with mock sympathy that it looks like he's hurt. He lifts the hatchet with a bright idea. Let's play surgeon. Before he can hack at Nathan's leg, though, Nathan swings the flashlight, hitting the leprechaun. He momentarily makes his way to his feet and starts to beat the hell out of the creature.
Yeah. I don't think the leprechaun counted on this.
No.
He beats the hell out of him for quite a while.
He does.
It's like, oh my God.
I will say he gets his shit rocked pretty easy.
He does. For how much shit he's talking, he's very vulnerable.
Yeah.
Nathan is back on the ground when Tori, Ozzy, and Alex rush to his aid. They're preoccupied with the sight of Nathan's bleeding injury when the leprechaun sprints toward them and inexplicably takes a bite out of Nathan's leg.
Yeah. What the fuck?
There's no defense for that, I guess. It's like, this always works.
Yeah.
It's really insult to injury. And it's weird because Nathan's incapacitated. Why did he go after him again? That was for the flashlight beatings.
Yeah. It's payback.
Tori screams at Ozzy to call the police, and as he rushes back inside to do so, Alex grabs up a rock and starts to beat the leprechaun with it. Nathan continues hitting him with the heavy flashlight, but the leprechaun continues to bite and giggle that they can't hurt him. Tori grabs a stick and starts to hit him, earning a grunt from the leprechaun with every strike.
Yes, we can.
Yeah, so it does hurt. Yeah.
Yeah. I think, honestly, he's just doing that to just try to prevent them from... Maybe they'll believe me and won't
like
beat
you
my
punching
ass. Yeah.
Nathan screams at Alex to go get the shotgun, and the boy runs inside the house while Nathan and Tori continue to beat the shit out of the leprechaun. In the kitchen, Ozzy is on the phone with the police, reporting that it's happening, the attack on the O'Grady farm. He pleads with them to send help because the leprechaun is attacking. They need to send the army, the Navy, guns, Marines, and they're gonna need some medicine.
I just want to say, as far as like him being like, go inside and get the shotgun. You don't live here. This isn't your house.
There is so much going on. I did not.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't even clock that.
Yeah.
Like, so how do you know?
I guess
don't
the
know.
O'Grady. Well, they left all their shit behind.
So they've been here
So
casing the place.
Maybe everybody knows that
Yeah.
Mr. O'Grady keeps that thing on him. I don't know.
Well, he did have a gun earlier.
He did. And,
did.
and the shotgun is there.
Yes, yeah.
So, you know.
At the police station, the dispatcher, played by Raymond C. Turner, smirks and nods. He says thank you before hanging up the phone. With a chuckle, he reports the call to Sheriff Cronin, played by William Newman, sharing that Ozzy told him the leprechaun is attacking. He tries to remember. What was it last week? UFOs? No, it was Bigfoot.
I know he had mentioned UFOs before, but he's been calling the cops about all of
He's
this.
like,
Yeah.
"Dude, you guys need to pay attention.
William Newman, he was in Jury Duty in 95, Mrs. Doubtfire in 93, Monkey Shines in 88, in the first episode of The Stand in 94.
There it is. There it is.
Because he looked so familiar.
So familiar.
Yeah.
Which we covered on PMTV.
We did.
We did.
Over on the Patreon.
It was a blast, yes. Patreon.com/thepodmortem.
That's it. That's the link. That'll get you there.
Yeah.
Available to all tiers.
Yes.
Anyway.
Yes.
You'll love it.
Leaning against the wall with a cigarette in one hand and a coffee mug in the other, Cronin offers that Ozzy's a good boy. He repeats the claim, a leprechaun. He can't help but laugh to himself before his face grows solemn and he has to admit, that's a good one. Back at the O'Grady farm, Tori and Nathan are fighting for their lives when Alex returns with the shotgun. So yes, it was there.
Yeah.
It was there. He hands it over to his brother, imploring Nathan to kill it. Nathan pushes the leprechaun back with the butt of the shotgun before cocking it and firing. The leprechaun is launched back into a bush with the impact of the shot. Ozzy runs back over, slipping as he goes, but hurrying back to his feet. Tori screams at him to take Alex to the porch. Following orders, Ozzy scoops up his young friend and carries him back to the house, ignoring Alex's protests of not wanting to go. Tori pries open the bear trap, releasing Nathan's leg and helping him to his feet. He stumbles forward, commenting that the leprechaun went off into the bushes. He fires into them blindly until the shotgun clicks empty, and in the resulting silence, Tori states the obvious. Nathan, that was no fucking bear.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I do want to say, obviously, wasting your ammunition is not the right thing to do.
Blindly.
Yeah.
But did you notice that the leprechaun's blood is green?
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
It's like House of the Dead.
Yeah.
Nathan staggers forward and checks in the bushes to find that the leprechaun is not there. But Tori is more worried about his leg. As Ozzy joins them, she grabs him and says frantically that they need to call a paramedic. But Ozzy takes her hand and assures her that he already did. He told them that they need the army, medicine, and a paramedic. Realization hits Tori and she closes her eyes. She asks, "You didn't tell them it was a leprechaun, did you?" But Ozzy balks at this. "Of course I did. Isn't that what it was?" Defeated, Tori says that they just need to get Nathan back into the house. She and Ozzy help him inside.
I mean, he's being honest, but it does sound a little crazy.
He is, but yeah, you don't say that part.
No,
you just
yeah.
get them out here, then they can see the leprechaun for
With their own
themselves.
eyes, yeah. But I mean, you want to be accurate and let them know
Yeah.
what they're up against.
As Ozzy sets Nathan down, Tori tries the phone and finds with dismay that the line is dead. Thinking quickly, she turns to Alex and asks if he was ever in the Boy Scouts. Alex offers Cub Scouts, and Tori decides that that's good enough. She instructs that he's going to help her. They have to stop Nathan's bleeding. She tasks Ozzy with going into the bathroom and getting everything he can. Tissues, alcohol, cotton. But Ozzy needs to know, did that thing look like a leprechaun to her? Tori just tells him to go, and Ozzy finally does as he's told.
I'm not doing anything else until we all agree that it was a leprechaun.
Yes. Yeah.
And you all
yeah.
tell me that you're very sorry.
Yes.
Nathan throws his head back, groaning in pain, but Tori assures him that he'll be all right. She tells Alex that once they stop the bleeding, they're going to take Nathan out to the truck. Alex asks, what if that thing is still out there? But Nathan says, there's no way. I shot him 6 times. He did.
He did.
Yeah.
No, but he is positive that he put 6 rounds into the leprechaun, and Tori agrees that it's got to be dead. She sends Alex to the fridge for ice to stop the swelling in Nathan's leg. Alex opens up the fridge and reaches for the freezer. And whatever they did after this must have worked, because we cut to them leaving the house.
I thought the leprechaun might be in the fridge.
Yeah, no, yeah.
It cut so abruptly. I will say, though, I do enjoy Tori's character arc. Because at first it seems like, oh, she likes Nathan, so now she's working and painting and getting her hands dirty and stuff. But this is like the chips are down and she's taking charge. She's taking care of Alex. She's telling Ozzy how to help. She's trying to help Nathan with his wounds and shit. Like, she's really showing up for them and in a way that's like, oh, we're going to get through this together. She's not like, well, I'm fucking out of here, like fleeing in the Jeep or something.
Yeah.
She's really like being a team player and taking charge. And it is nice to kind of see that progression. And it doesn't feel like, well, where's the brat from the beginning? It feels like, no, there's real shit going down. So we need to step up.
Yeah.
And I also appreciated whenever there are moments in a horror film where you're like, well, why don't you just blank or whatever? Because I was like, why don't you just go inside and try the phone again? She does.
Yes.
What about your cell phone or I guess portable phone?
Portable
Yes.
phone?
Well.
In your purse because you used it earlier. She goes for it.
Yeah.
So it's like, all right, you're actually,
Yeah.
Yeah. It is a little refreshing because instead of it being broken or something like that, it's just, oh, I got through to the cops. It did die though. But you did get through.
Yeah. Alex leads the way, and Nathan has an arm slung over Tori and Ozzy's shoulders. They help him down the porch steps. We glide past them underneath the truck, revealing the space to be empty as they all climb inside. Which is clever because we know that he likes to hide under trucks.
Yeah.
So it's like, nuh-uh, he's not there, Tori slides behind the wheel with Nathan sitting between her and Ozzy and Alex taking his place on Ozzy's lap. Tori whispers that they made it, but when she turns the key, the engine stalls. She cries out, shit! But Nathan tells Alex that he knows what to do, and Alex does. He reports gravely, the distributor cap. He closes his eyes and lets out a long sigh, and as he climbs out of the cab, Tori tells him to be careful. So this was foreshadowing?
Yeah.
it is, but it is odd to me that they're like, yes, go out all alone, child.
Little boy?
Yes.
Alex is the only one that knows how to fix this.
Yeah, but at least have like a bodyguard to kick the leprechaun in the face or something.
Something. Because earlier I was already worried about him jumping up there and doing that and then like
Yeah.
slamming the hood and just jumping out of the way.
Under better circumstances.
Yeah, right. But here it's like, come on, dude, somebody go out there.
It's life or death.
Yeah.
And they're like, Godspeed, little doodle.
As soon as the truck starts, just go.
He'll hang on.
Yeah.
Calm down.
With his head on a swivel, Alex looks around as he slowly makes his way to the front of the truck. Ozzy begs him to hurry. Alex finally opens up the hood to find the leprechaun inside. His eyes shining with twisted glee as he grins with the distributor cap clenched in his terrible teeth.
What's going on?
Well, I mean, he was there earlier watching from the tree, I guess.
Yeah.
He's like, they're going to open the hood. He's got ain't I a stinker energy, and I think it's really fitting that Jones was a cartoon writer.
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
Alex screams and jumps back into Ozzy's lap, burying his face in his friend's shoulder. Grimacing, Ozzy quickly rolls up the window, and Nathan screams at Tori to do the same. She does, in a hurry, as the leprechaun implores his friends to come out and play.
Why were the windows down in the first place?
Yeah.
All that's going on, you're like, oh, let's let some night air in. Really?
The leprechaun hangs upside down, peering through the windshield and cackling. Abruptly, he punches through the glass, which did look funny to me, reaching out for Alex. Ozzy keeps his arm around the child and swings a screwdriver at the leprechaun. But when the creature slides in further through the broken glass, Nathan punches him in the face. Still, the leprechaun is able to sink his teeth into Ozzy's ear, which he did threaten to do earlier.
He did.
As Nathan continues to beat him, Tori thinks quickly and depresses the cigarette lighter. Once it heats up, she presses the hot metal into the leprechaun's nose. He cries out as it sizzles, and he finally backs off, jumping off the truck. But he's still laughing when he runs into the barn and disappears inside.
And he was kind enough to hold the lighter to his nose
He did.
for maximum damage. So,
I don't think he knew. He was like, does this hurt?
yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Oh, I don't like this. Blood running down the side of his head, Ozzy screams, lamenting, "He got my ear!" But when Alex slaps him and tells him to chill, Ozzy goes quiet. Their attention is drawn to the barn when buzzing, whirring, and an electric crackling sound starts inside. Alex questions what he's doing in there. And after a moment, the leprechaun bursts through the closed wooden doors of the barn on a makeshift go-kart.
So those noises were him hurrying and building
He was
this?
constructing
Yeah.
it.
That's
He pulled his mask down and
that's very funny.
fucking welded and shit.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but we're sitting in this truck and they're like, let him cook. Like, no, let's go.
Hell out of here.
Who cares what he's doing? He's trying to hurt us.
Cackling, he revs his engine and honks the horn before singing, "Ring around the rosy, a pocket full of posies." With the pitchfork jutting from the front of his go-kart, the leprechaun steps on the gas and starts zooming toward the truck. He rams the side with enough force to send the truck rolling everyone inside. Tori, Nathan, Ozzy, and Alex all scream as the truck continues to roll, losing everything in the bed. And when it finally comes to a stop, the leprechaun finishes his song. "Ashes, ashes, we all fall down." He laughs gleefully before climbing out of his go-kart and rushing over to the wreckage in his buckled shoes.
Not even an original?
No.
So I will just do the whole real song.
Yes. Yeah.
He's like, dude, I've been writing a lot of songs lately.
Yeah, be grateful for what you've gotten.
You'll be fine with the cover.
Yeah. But this is the only other movie besides Army of Darkness where I've heard somebody use this whole little thing.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll allow it.
Yeah.
His excited expression falters when he opens the door and finds the cab empty. He wonders where they are. He wants to know where his gold is. Tori, Nathan, Ozzy, and Alex peek out at him from their cover behind a fallen tree. The leprechaun implores him to give the gold back to a nice little harmless leprechaun. When he slams the door, Nathan decides that it's time for them to go now. They sprint back to the house, only to be followed by the cackling leprechaun, who wonders where his friends are going. We are in his POV as he trails behind. Nathan slips and falls, but he's able to get back up and follow the rest of them inside. The leprechaun slides his hand in the crack in the door just as Nathan slams it, and his hand is cut off at the wrist. It thuds to the floor inside the house.
Was it already falling off? Like, did that surprise anybody else?
Yeah. Well, what is he made of?
Did,
I don't know.
he did have
Very
an
weak
accident
flesh.
when he was building the go-kart. He was working very quickly.
It was in the barn. We didn't see it.
Yes. Well,
He tried to play it off. He rolled up his sleeve.
The leprechaun screams, cradling the stump of his left wrist as his hand scuttles up the door inside. Leaving smears of blood along the wood, the disembodied hand manages to grip the doorknob and turn it. The door opens and the leprechaun retrieves his wriggling hand before running off with a hiss.
Do you think that's another nod to Evil Dead?
That's what it made me think of.
maybe.
Or I guess it'd be two, right?
Right.
Because it's like a disembodied hand doing.
Yeah.
you
Well,
know.
there's a little bit of this that I was like, that little scene with it crawling up and opening the door and whatever. I
Yeah.
was like, that seems very, very Evil Dead.
I have no problem with wearing influences.
Yeah, hell no. I liked it.
Yeah.
Inside, Nathan takes a seat as Tori and Ozzy push furniture in front of the door. Tori ponders what they're going to do now before deciding to try to use the phone. Alex reminds her that it's dead, so she pivots, suddenly remembering her portable phone. She pulls the phone out of her purse and dials in the number quickly. She tells the police dispatcher on the other end that she needs to report an emergency. She identifies herself as Tori Redding, calling from the O'Grady farm before revealing that something really terrible has happened. Someone needs to get out here right away. As she's begging them to hurry, the battery dies and the call is disconnected. When the others react in disappointment, Tori assures them that that's okay. She was able to get through and they're gonna be okay. Everything's gonna be fine. That's
Great. And I do appreciate she's like, it doesn't matter what creature is responsible. Just get your asses down here.
Yes. At the police station, Sheriff Cronin smokes his cigar as he radios in to Deputy Trippett. After a crackle of static, Trippett replies. The sheriff identifies himself before telling the deputy that Tori Redding at the O'Grady farm just called in an emergency. He tells the deputy to get over there on a Code 1 priority right away. On the road, the lights still flicker from Deputy Trippett's cruiser, and we glide down to find Trippett sitting motionless and bloodied in the passenger seat with his hat perched on his head. Behind the wheel and manning the radio is the Leprechaun, speaking in Trippett's voice as he assures the sheriff that he's less than 3 minutes away. He'll call in if he needs backup. The sheriff accepts this.
Dude, he is everywhere you want to be.
Yeah.
He is everything everywhere all at once.
Yes.
I think that it's apparent here that little, chase throughout the trees was added.
Yeah.
Because he's still, like, if he killed him on the road, he would be right by the cruiser.
No, he dragged him back.
Yeah, we have to assume that you know what I mean? That's just kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Right. This made me think a little bit of the first Terminator movie.
Okay. I could see that. Yeah.
Because there is a similar little scene in that happens just like this.
Yeah.
They're doing nods to everything, I guess.
I hope.
Yeah.
I hope, yeah. Back at the house, Tori confirms with Alex that all the doors and windows are locked. She sends him to double check the kitchen windows. She tends to Ozzy's ear, wrapping gauze around the injury in the circumference of his head. As she blots blood away, Ozzy whines that it sure does hurt. He guesses that the leprechaun is probably going to make a boot out of his ear. But Tori tells him that he's going to be okay. The leprechaun didn't get his ear. He just bit it. Sweaty and not looking too great, Nathan asks where the hell the police are. Tori tells him that they'll be here, and she shifts her attention from Ozzy's ear to Nathan's leg. She pulls the wrapping tighter, and when Nathan grunts in pain, she looks up, asking if that was too tight, but Nathan tells her that it was all right. Ozzy muses that leprechaun sure was mean. Tori snaps at him that it wasn't a leprechaun, damn it! She admits that she doesn't know what it was, but it wasn't a leprechaun. Girl.
Come on.
We're past that.
Yes, yeah.
She's like, it can't, I need it to not be a leprechaun. So Ozzy pleads his case. What about the gold in that old rusty car? Alex smacks Ozzy to keep him quiet, and Ozzy is like, never mind what I just said. But Tori isn't letting him off that easy. She wants to know what he's talking about. Gold? When no one responds, she pulls Alex to the side and asks him point blank. Alex finally confesses that they were going to get Ozzy an operation to fix his brain. Tori tells him gently that they can't fix Ozzy's brain, and Alex admits that he knows that, but Ozzy doesn't. Tori sighs and implores Alex to tell her about the gold. After a quick flip of a transition, Alex has presumably told Tori everything.
Yes.
Yeah. The producers are like, we already know what happened.
Yeah.
You don't need to.
We remember.
Yeah. That was like 20 minutes ago, dude. Come on.
Tori confirms with him. In the water bucket, right? Alex says yes. If she pulls it up, there will be a bag of gold coins. Tori reasons that this has to work. If all he wants is his gold and they give it to him, then he'll go away. Nathan starts toward her with the shotgun, volunteering to go, but she helps him back down into the chair in the kitchen, insisting that he's hurt too badly. Nathan relents, but insists that Tori take the shotgun with her. He hands it over with simple instructions. Cock it, aim it, and pull the trigger. He groans, lifting his leg onto the table as he asks if she's ever worked one of those before. Tori holds up the gun and cocks it bravely, admitting with honesty, nope. Still, she takes the gun and leaves out the back door. Sitting at the kitchen table dourly, Ozzy warns her sadly to watch out for those teeth. Holding on tight to the gun, Tori moves around the side of the house in careful and cautious steps. When she makes it to the well, she takes a look around before setting down the shotgun. An unnatural green glow emanates from the well's opening. Growing brighter as Tori pulls the handle and calls up the bucket. I'm starting to get real disappointed in that leprechaun.
His powers are frustrating.
Yeah.
I don't know what to expect ever from what is going on
How
here.
was this hidden from you?
This was right next to where he was just getting his shit rocked with that
Yeah.
flashlight.
Yeah, you can't feel it?
Yeah.
What are your powers?
Yeah.
I don't understand.
You can fucking like materialize inside of a locked safe.
Yes, yes.
Well, honestly, he's not really doing much. He's biting people.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
He shut a door.
That seems like your last option type of thing.
Yeah. So,
He's doing it a lot.
not really. Yeah.
He's doing the dice move.
Yeah.
She reaches her hand inside and just as Alex promised, finds the bag of gold coins. Just as she takes them, a flash of bright light in the shape of the leprechaun skeleton appears out of nowhere. From this light, the leprechaun materializes, scaring the shit out of Tori. As she screams, he wonders, is that me gold?
Was that like Dr. Manhattan? Like skeleton first?
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
And how did you do that?
I don't know. So you can do that.
Yeah. What the hell?
You've never done this.
No.
Tori questions, what the hell are you? The leprechaun admits plainly, I'm a leprechaun, me dear. Tori immediately thrusts the bag toward him, telling him that this is what he's looking for. The leprechaun reaches out his hand, and the green light that shines from it carries the bag over to him. As it settles in his palm, he laughs that his powers are returning. He shakes the bag and listens as the coins inside clatter against each other. He smiles that it sounds like his gold. He takes a peek inside. It looks like his gold. He cackles and takes a whiff. It smells like his gold.
Are we square or not?
I know.
Like, I can't be here for this.
It tastes like his gold.
So you're eating it too?
Yeah. So apparently that's okay.
You're not a dragon.
No,
right? Don't
shit.
they eat golden treasure?
Yeah.
See,
They
that's
also
what I was
like
wondering.
they sleep on it
Yeah.
too.
They like to keep it. And so I'm like, is that what the leprechaun is doing? Is it dragon rules? Because he's not doing anything with this
No.
gold. But if you take it, then it's a problem.
Yeah. He just likes to have a lot of it.
Likes to have it. He pulls Tori toward him and smacks a kiss on her cheek. Tori recoils, and suddenly she's running back toward the house, groaning and shooting terrified glances behind her. The leprechaun settles into the dirt, holding up one of his coins and kissing it, proclaiming, "Me gold and precious gold!" Tori is calming herself down when she enters the house. She reports that the leprechaun got the gold. Now they can take everyone to the hospital. It's all over. She helps Nathan to his feet. But outside, next to the rusted out truck and Trippett's parked cruiser, the leprechaun is counting each of his gold coins by hand. I was like, he couldn't tell by feeling.
No. This is necessary.
Yeah. That's not one of his powers.
No.
To know they're all there.
No.
Just-
It's like, I'm not an accountant. I'm a leprechaun.
Shoemaker.
Yeah, shoemaker.
That's my trade.
96, 97, 98, 99. The score grows darker when the leprechaun unfurls his empty hands and realizes he's been tricked. They've got his coin. His voice gruff and his face looking even more menacing, he declares that no one takes a leprechaun's gold. In the house, Tori tells Alex to go get some ice for Ozzy's ear and to boil up some water, which I did think they were about to leave for the hospital, but I guess not. As Alex heads back into the kitchen, a sweaty and pained Nathan follows with the gun to keep an eye on his brother. As soon as Alex opens up the fridge, the leprechaun jumps out with a yell and tackles the boy to the floor. Nathan staggers over, pulls the leprechaun off of Alex, and tosses him to the side. The leprechaun's hand knocks the tea kettle aside and lands on a red-hot burner it was resting on. With his flesh seared to the stove, the leprechaun uses a spatula to pry his hand free. He holds his hand up, the rungs of the hot burner imprinted into his flesh, and he smiles. We're cooking now, kids.
Again, Ash put his face on the burner in Army of Darkness.
Yep.
He used a spatula to scrape it off. I was
Yep.
like, dude, what's happening here?
We're borrowing a
greatest
lot.
hits.
Yeah.
Alex seeks refuge with Ozzy in the corner, and the leprechaun disappears into one of the cabinets above the counters. Tori notices when he slams one of the cabinet doors shut. She and Nathan stand below it, and Nathan instructs Tori to open the cabinet and then quickly get back. Tori moves forward, rips the cabinet open, and moves back just like she was told. Nathan thrusts the barrel of the gun into the cabinet, but it's empty. The cabinet door next to it opens instead, and the giggling leprechaun sticks his head out, announcing, "I want me gold." We know.
Yes.
We know.
You've gotten 99% of it.
Yeah, no
God
shit.
damn, dude.
He slams the door again, and Tori and Nathan repeat the process. She throws the doors open and gets out of the way. Nathan is ready to fire, but this cabinet is suddenly empty too. The leprechaun opens the door to the cabinets on the far left, cackling that Nathan should have picked door number 2. One last time, Tori throws open the remaining cabinet door and moves out of the way. Nathan aims his gun. Somehow, it's still empty. But the drawer at Nathan's waist pushes open, and the leprechaun's hand juts out, and he pinches Nathan's dick.
He gets a handful. I don't know about pinch.
He pinched it.
He squeezed.
Yeah, no, yeah.
Why did he do that?
I
don't know.
Yeah. This is where I busted out laughing, as I said at the beginning, because I'm partially. I have to admit, I'm already kind of checked out after he used all of his senses to check his gold. And look, yes, he's using his powers to kind of disappear and come back within these cabinets or whatever, but this is something that any of us could do.
Yes, no, it's very
Anybody
funny.
can pinch a dick.
Yeah, I was like, how dare you? It's just like, I could not stop laughing.
It's very funny. I forgot this happened, and when we had watched it, even watching it for the show, I was like, that's fucking so funny.
It's,
Why did you do
I don't
that?
know.
and the sound that he makes too is the shocked and pained. And it's like, oh,
It's a Gus Fring.
yeah. Seriously, it's like this lep is crazy, man.
I'd be very surprised. Is he really grabbing my dick?
I
What
can't
the-
believe
Yeah.
this.
Oh my God.
You just came out of the fridge.
Yes,
This is what happens.
this is
next.
all you've got. At least he didn't bite.
Yeah. He snapped at it. Yeah, he snapped.
my dick.
Yes. He- Not me, my friend. Yeah.
It's fine.
Yeah, my dick is.
Nathan cries out, maybe like Gustavo Fring, maybe not, and jumps backwards, finally firing his gun at the drawer. The leprechaun's voice laughs, suddenly appearing in the china hutch that Ozzy and Alex are cowering next to. "You missed me!" Nathan fires here too. Tori is horrified, and we're in the leprechaun's POV as he sprints through the living room, his echoing voice boasting that you can never catch a leprechaun. But O'Grady did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, I'm starting to believe, like,
I think you might be a liar. Tori, Nathan, and Alex into the living room looking for him. Alex clutches onto a bat, and when Ozzy peeks out from behind the couch to point the direction that the leprechaun went, Tori sends Alex over to Ozzy. She and Nathan inch forward, looking for the creature. Nathan favors his good leg, keeping Tori safely behind him as he searches with his gun.
I'm surprised Nathan's not like somebody else needs to take lead for about 4
I
to
need
5
a
minutes.
Yeah, he recovered quickly.
He did. It's got to be adrenaline later. He's going to be like, oh,
Yeah.
my crotch.
But suddenly, the leprechaun slides down the chimney, calling out, "Ho, ho, ho!" He waltzes out of the fireplace, announcing that he's right here and he ain't no Santa Claus. Nathan turns and shoots the leprechaun.
I imagine, like, the GTA wasted.
Yes,
Like,
yeah.
it happened so fast. And he just hits the ground
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
He falls backward, limp and still. Nathan announces that they got the sucker, but as he kneels down to inspect the leprechaun, Tori warns him to be careful. The leprechaun continues to lie there with his eyes closed, motionless, even when Nathan prods him with the barrel of his shotgun. Seeing him laid out like that was really funny to me. You were so lively 2 seconds
Yeah.
ago. Tori, Ozzy, and Alex stand by, watching and waiting. In a whisper, Ozzy asks if Nathan thinks he's dead. Nathan looks the leprechaun over before reporting quietly, "Yeah, he's dead." Suddenly, the leprechaun springs to life, laughing. "Not a chance, me lad." He rushes out of the room, singing to himself. Nathan and Tori follow, moving slowly and quietly. Alex and Ozzy go back to hide behind the couch. Standing in the hallway, Tori and Nathan hear a strange droning sound. They turn in time to see the leprechaun gliding by on a skateboard at the end of the hall. Nathan fires and misses.
I'll be honest, I probably would have got griped out for laughing. I'd have been like, dude, that's really
This
funny.
is ridiculous.
It's like, that's crazy. We're going to die probably, but like, that's pretty funny.
You're like, look at him go. He goes by again in another pose. Nathan fires. Again, Nathan fires. When the skateboard rolls back into view, the leprechaun is gone.
I have to admit, the only thing in my notes I said, there's 23 minutes left. It's like
You're counting down the seconds. I feel like the skateboard, this is too much. The shtick is funny. Again, because of the commitment to the bit. But sometimes it just goes on too long. And this was an instance where, for me, it just went on too long. We break up some of the monotony by pinching dicks or whatever.
You never seen that before.
Never seen that before. But it's like with the skateboard and stuff, it's like, dude, just fucking kill him. Like, you're missing him every time he goes by.
Right.
Like, let's do it differently. Let's time it differently. Gathered in the kitchen again, the group listens to the leprechaun's noises, shattering glass, clattering objects, the rhythmic running of his shoes. When he hears movement below them, Nathan lowers himself painfully to the floor to listen. Tori promises Alex that everything is going to be okay as Nathan lowers his ear to the floor. Suddenly, the leprechaun bursts up from the tiles. Nathan steadies himself against the wall, and when the leprechaun lunges at him, he fires the shotgun. The leprechaun goes flying, and when we cut away, Alex screams that he's going into the basement. I was like, how? The phone on the wall starts to ring, and Tori sprints to it, snatching it up and pleading with the caller that they need help. In response, the leprechaun growls through the phone, "Where's the rest of me gold?" Furious, Tori rips the phone from the wall and throws it to the floor. And there, off the hook, the phone starts to ring again. After a moment of hesitation, Tori answers it.
He's like, I think we got disconnected. This is about my gold.
Yeah.
The leprechaun asks, "Having problems? Need a hand?" A tiny gnarled hand reaches out of the receiver, twisting toward her. So this is Nightmare on Elm Street.
Yes.
Tori screams and throws the phone before sinking to the floor. Burying her head in her hands, she admits that she doesn't know what the fuck is going on. They gave him his gold. Nathan goes to comfort her, but Ozzy stays standing and speaks up. He confesses that he thinks he knows what the leprechaun wants. He wants his last gold coin. He starts to walk toward the door, but Alex screams at them to stop Ozzy. The last gold coin is in his stomach. Tori jumps to her feet, demanding that Ozzy can't go out there. She finally concedes that thing is a leprechaun.
Thank you.
Yeah, no.
Jesus.
And they have to find a way to stop it. Ozzy suddenly has an idea. Old man O'Grady might know how to stop it. When Ozzy was a little kid, O'Grady used to tell him stories about fairies and leprechauns. So if anybody would know how to kill it, he would. He remembers that O'Grady lived in this house. He's probably the one that put the leprechaun in the crate. When Tori asks where he is, Nathan informs her that he lives in a rest home on the other side of town. He had a stroke about 10 years ago. Her eyes wide with hope, Tori asserts that they have to go there. They have to go there right now. Alex asks how they're going to get there, and Nathan answers simply, the Jeep. I'm like, oh, the Jeep.
Yeah.
Why are we acting like we're stuck? He tells them to wait, though, because he has an idea. He picks up a boot and looks at it thoughtfully. So a couple things here. The leprechaun, when he was taunting O'Grady, he was like, be careful, you might have a stroke.
Yeah.
So did he cause that?
I think
he do that?
Oh, okay.
And also, I thought O'Grady was dead until right now. I thought he died with his wife.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly thought the same thing.
And then I'm like, oh, he's in a rest home. Let's go fucking talk to him.
And why didn't you not tell anyone, hey, don't
open that crate.
Yeah, no shit.
It's been 10 years.
Yeah.
Huddled together, Tori, Nathan, and Ozzy exit the front door of the house. Tori holds the gun and Nathan cradles a moving box full of shoes. Just as Tori slides silently behind the wheel of her father's red Jeep, the leprechaun pops up next to the side mirror with the cheery, "Hello, love." Nathan throws a shoe past the leprechaun, and he can't help himself but to abandon Tori and run to it. Tori tells Nathan to throw it farther, so he throws more shoes, clear away from the Jeep. The leprechaun snatches them up one by one, polishing them with his rag and muttering to himself, "Shiny, shiny." Nathan and Ozzy keep throwing the shoes every time the leprechaun starts toward the Jeep. He is so consumed by his work shining the shoes that Tori is able to start the Jeep and drive away. As the leprechaun continues polishing the shoes, Nathan and Ozzy run back into the house and slam the door behind them.
Now, this is a design flaw. With
with leprechauns.
Yeah, because that's too much.
Yeah.
And this is the scene that Jones said the producers hated and wanted cut, but that when they screened it, the audience was cracking up and laughing.
I feel like you've set it up so much, and I even said earlier, why don't you use this as a distraction?
Yeah.
You kind of have to.
Yeah.
If you've made it this big of a deal.
I will be honest. It does work for the comedic aspect of it. But like really watching it, even I was like, come on. Like, this is it's a lot.
Yeah.
Even I.
Yeah. Well, I don't mind the silly. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like that shit. But this was just like, come on now. Really, you're throwing some shoes, and he's like, you know what? Fuck my gold.
Yeah. Shoes.
Yeah.
Shoes first. Even though these were already polished by him earlier this evening.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, the slightest scuff.
Now they're in the dirt.
He's a professional. I agree, though, because it really is one of those things where it's like, if you want to make this such a big deal as you have painted yourself into a corner. And then I'm like, well, this is really what we're talking about?
Yeah.
It's like, should the leprechaun shine the shoes or not? What? It's like, oh my God. What is my life?
Yeah.
Scrap the whole thing.
Yeah, as a producer, they're like, this leprechaun's shining too many shoes. It's like, Jesus
You see what the movie
Christ.
is.
Yes.
And why isn't Tori blonde?
Yeah. It's like, oh shit. Thought we skated by with that one. And the leprechaun skates too much.
Speaking of skating. Tori speeds down the road in her Jeep, but the leprechaun is close behind her, keeping up on a pair of roller skates. Where he got these, I do not know.
I don't know.
He loses control and goes crashing through the white picket fence, leaving a leprechaun-shaped hole in the wooden planks. He comes back through, stumbling toward the road. He takes a quick look back and forth before skating back the way he came and clearly sped up footage.
They utilize this a bit.
Yeah. Yes.
Tori pulls up to the Chillview Center rest home, jumps out of the Jeep, and sprints to the doors.
I did want to say that this rest home that they used for the film is the same location, I believe, that was the hospital in Halloween 3.
Oh, okay.
I was hoping you were going to say 2, but I'll accept I'll accept 3. Walking lightly in her LA Gear tennis shoes, she sneaks up to the desk of the slumbering security guard, played by David Trippett. So again, obviously the deputy is named after, he's the producer of the film, and he would go on to produce Wishmaster.
Okay.
Interesting. Wishmaster, you say?
Wishmaster.
Yeah.
I did say that.
Very good.
Moving on. On the desk is a file folder marked room numbers, which is really funny.
Yeah. It's like we didn't we ran out of ideas.
Yeah.
All right.
Nobody's going to come look at this.
No. Quietly and carefully and pausing when the guard stirs in his sleep, Tori takes the folder and peeks at the list inside. She immediately finds Dan O'Grady's name and information and returns the list to the desk. As she walks away, the security guard wakes for only a moment before closing his eyes again. Tilted in a disorienting Dutch angle, Tori carefully makes her way down the hall.
It's like at this point in the film, the cinematographer is like, wait, you can tilt this thing? Because
Hell yeah, dude.
it is overboard.
Yeah.
It's like 4 or 5 scenes in a row that they're doing it.
When she spots a shadow on the wall in the shape of the leprechaun, she fearfully peers around the corner to find a mop bucket. She lets out a sigh of relief before continuing forward.
I wouldn't trust it still.
No,
That's too specific of a shadow.
Yeah.
He's around, I think.
he's somewhere. After navigating the seemingly abandoned hallways of the rest home, Tori finally finds Mr. O'Grady's room. He sits in his wheelchair with his back to the door. Tori tells him plainly, "Mr. O'Grady, it's out. It's out of the crate." O'Grady lifts his head but doesn't turn around. He points out that she believed it. No one believed it was a leprechaun. Tori shakes her head, affirming that she does believe it, but how do they stop it? O'Grady imparts his wisdom. There's one way to kill a leprechaun, but he's not going to tell her. Tori's confused until Mr. O'Grady wheels his chair around and reveals that he's not O'Grady at all, but the leprechaun wearing a wig and a plaid jacket.
Yeah.
Where?
I know.
I do have to say, at the second that she walked in, I said, I think that's a leprechaun.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
That's Roger, isn't it? In his real voice, he teases that he'll never tell her. Tori screams and flees the room. She sprints down the hall, but the leprechaun is close behind. This is when I was like, I was hoping you'd say Halloween 2 because this is like Haddonfield Memorial. There's nobody in this fucking place at all.
And I will say, I read it on a blog. I'm not sure. Maybe they were wrong. Maybe it was Halloween 2. But they said Dr. Chalice. Don Chalice.
Then it's 3.
So that's 3. Yeah.
And he fucks.
He
Yeah.
does. He does.
The leprechaun tosses away the pieces of his Mr. O'Grady costume and spins the wheel of the chair, zooming down the hall in clearly sped up footage. When Tori takes a quick turn into another hall, he follows, giggling and cackling as he speeds behind her. The chase does go on for quite a while, only ending when Tori finds an elevator at the end of the hall. She frantically presses the call button again and again, and she finally makes it inside just before the leprechaun reaches her. The doors close, and at the sound of the squealing and crashing wheelchair on the other side of it, so he did crash.
Well, he was right there.
Yeah, he was.
It's like, I got to go for it.
Tori allows
It's
herself.
not like I can teleport and materialize.
Can't do that. Tori allows herself a sigh of relief, but a dangling body suddenly bursts through the ceiling of the elevator. It's O'Grady, upside down, his head, his hands hanging, and his face streaked with blood.
Where was he?
Are we to believe that the leprechaun went into this dude's room,
Yeah.
beat the shit out of him, and threw him down an elevator shaft?
Yeah. Or did he hide him and throw him down there right now?
I don't know.
When did that happen?
I don't know, but he's here now.
Yeah.
Tears roll down Tori's face as she stares up at him. O'Grady's eyelids flutter open, and he admits in a whisper, "He came back for me. I knew he would." He says that nobody would believe him. Sniffling, Tori insists that they've got to get him down, but O'Grady counters that it's too late for that now. What they need to do is kill the leprechaun. Tori still doesn't understand how they're supposed to do that, so O'Grady lets her in on the secret. A 4-leaf clover, freshly plucked from the clover patch beside the well. Tori sobs as she listens to the instructions. She has to put it on his body. It has to touch him, and then they can kill him. Given her mission, Tori nods, and Mr. O'Grady closes his eyes and presumably slips into death.
Yeah, he just got thrown down an elevator shaft.
That sucks, man.
Well, he served his purpose. He opened the film. He gives us the...
He did.
He did.
And he knew the leprechaun was coming back for him.
Yeah. He was like, I can't believe it. I mean, 10 years.
Yeah, but he's like, where's the staff?
Yeah, no
to
shit.
keep me safe.
Real quick, the him speeding through the hallways in the wheelchair, I really hope that in Scary Movie 2, when David Cross does that was a little nod to this. Because it almost looks the same.
That's very fair.
Yeah.
Tori races back to the farmhouse in the red Jeep. The cackling leprechaun is close behind, still steering the wheelchair. He's had so many vehicles.
Yeah.
So many means of transportation. Once she reaches the property, she parks in front of the clover patch. Kneeling in the glow of her headlights, she begins to search through the greenery for the 4-leaf clover. Frustrated and tossing the rejects to the side. We approach her shakily, ominously in a sinister POV, and suddenly, while Tori is still searching the clovers, the leprechaun's hand juts out and grabs hers, momentarily turning it a glowing green. His face even more grotesque. The leprechaun snarls that little girls shouldn't look for 4-leaf clovers. I don't know. That's
Why? I don't know.
He's like, it'll hurt
Listen,
me. Has nothing to do with who you are, but it's more about
Right.
me surviving.
Tori wrenches her hand away and screams. She sprints off toward the woods, giving way to another chase scene between Tori and the leprechaun, during which she falls, gets back up, and keeps running. When she spots the swirling lights of a police car in the distance, she runs toward it with renewed optimism. Hope swells in the score as Tori approaches the parked cruiser, screaming and pleading for help. She opens the driver's side door and lets herself inside, only to find the bloody body of Deputy Trippett slumped back in the passenger seat. When his head lolls to the side and she sees the state of him, she screams and makes to jump out of the car. But when she turns, the leprechaun is there, taunting her from the open window. He reminds her, "I want me gold." But Tori moves quickly, grabbing up the billy club and thrusting it into the leprechaun's eye. This only pisses him off. He grunts as he pulls it out. Inky black seeps from his injured eye, but with appalling strength, the leprechaun rips the driver's side door right off the hinges.
Yeah.
It's like, oh my God.
You can do that.
Yeah.
And this made me think too, and I know we've been talking about it, throughout the movie, but if you have this super strength and the teleportation and all that, are you just fucking with us?
I think you have to
clearly
be.
you
Yeah,
are,
but he's
but
gotten his ass beat
yeah,
so
but
many
and it's
times.
that too.
It's part of the game. It's part of the
Is it
thrill.
worth it?
Yeah,
So he likes punishment.
I think so. He's got a lot of fetishes.
It's a complicated cat.
He's like, I like feet. I like getting my ass beat. That's a rhyme, right?
That's another original.
Yeah.
Tori throws herself into the back seat, cowering and begging the leprechaun, "Please get out." But the leprechaun is preoccupied. He once again sinks his nails into Deputy Trippett's face. The flesh squelches, and when the leprechaun unfurls his grip, he's holding on to one of Trippett's eyeballs. He holds it up for Tori, laughing. "An eye for an eye, me dear." Tori begs him to stop, to get out, but the leprechaun pops the stolen eyeball into his face and blinks to get it settled. But just then, a shotgun blasts and the leprechaun goes flying.
Dude, I'm glad, because this whole time that she's being chased and everything, I just imagine the guy's still at the house and like, I hope Tori's okay. So it's like, good,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
They're back.
Yeah.
It's Nathan, standing on the other side of the door with Ozzy standing behind him. He opens the door to let Tori out, and when she joins him, she asks where Alex is. Nathan assures her that he's safe. So, was child labor laws? Like, Alex had already...
Yeah, trust me, he's fine.
Yeah.
We
He's
might,
upset.
Yeah, we might see him again in the light of day.
They go around the front of the vehicle to look at the leprechaun, sprawled motionless in the dirt with his eyes staring open. Tori reports what O'Grady told her. They need to find a 4-leaf clover. That will kill the leprechaun. Nathan insists that they get out of here before the leprechaun wakes up. Tori agrees and shares that there's got to be a 4-leaf clover in the patch by the house. With everyone in agreement, they hurry back to the clover patch. Looking down at the patch of green, Tori laments that they are never going to find a 4-leaf clover in there. But Ozzy says that they will. He did once when he was a kid. Kneeling, he searches intently, and once Nathan and Tori join him, he calls out an excited, "Hey!" They look at him expectantly, but when the clover he picks up only has 3 leaves, he dismisses it with the sullen, "Never mind." Frustrated, Tori turns her attention back to the clover patch. Meanwhile, down by the house, Alex is reopening the bear trap that bit down on his brother's leg, muttering to himself that he is not afraid. He's got to get the leprechaun. He goes into the barn. The door's still busted from the leprechaun's go-kart. And he sets up a bear trap here, too, on the hay-littered floor. He continues to whisper to himself, pleading with the leprechaun not to come yet and encouraging himself. He's gonna get him. He's not afraid. He is not afraid. He's gonna get the leprechaun. We pull back from Alex as he sets up his trap to find the dangling legs of the leprechaun, watching from his place perched on the rafters above. He whispers, "Boy, look at the hero." In the beam of the Jeep's headlights, Tori, Ozzy, and Nathan continue to search for the elusive four-leaf clover. Disheartened, Tori decides that it's no use. They're not going to find one. But Ozzy says that she can find it. She's just got to believe. Tori snaps at him. "Damn it, Ozzy." She asserts that she is so sick of his magic and his stupid fantasies. It's too late for all that. They don't have time to sit in a damn clover patch and look for clovers when that thing is going to wake up. Which he already is awake and has made it down to the party. Yeah. Ozzy looks at her with pity, realizing that she's lost her faith. He tells her again, "You've got to believe. You've got to." Tori haphazardly snatches up a handful of clovers, announcing with annoyance that she believes. But this frustration melts away when she sees what she's holding in her hand. Glowing green between her fingers. It's there. The four-leaf clover.
I did want to say I thought the green light from above was a nice touch.
Yeah.
Because it looks like they're still digging through this dry grass, but with this light, it feels like it's just a field of clovers.
Yeah.
And so I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Ozzy points out that he told her. As Nathan rejoices, they rush off to put the clover to use. Meanwhile, Alex is still milling around the barn. When he approaches a hay bale, the leprechaun jumps out from behind it, gripping Alex's arm and telling him cheerily, "Top of the morning, me lad." Alex begs him to let go, but the leprechaun's voice grows gruff and dark as he announces that he's going to finish what he started.
What the fuck?
There's a lot less whimsy for this last section.
Yeah. For the child.
Yeah. He's just going to murder this child.
No rhyme.
No.
No.
It's like, we don't have time for that. Starts strangling him. It's like, oh my
Dude,
God.
what he does is fucking great.
Yes.
True.
He knocks Alex down onto the floor, his head right next to the bear trap that he just prepared. Alex screams out for Nathan and Ozzy, begging for help because the leprechaun is going to kill him. The leprechaun is pushing, inching Alex's head closer and closer to the trap when Ozzy rips the barn door open, calling the leprechaun a little green son of a bitch and announcing that he's the one he wants. He swallowed the last gold coin. It's in his stomach. His voice deep and distorted. The leprechaun agrees that it is Ozzy's belly that he wants. Ozzy turns and runs, and the leprechaun sprints behind him. Kicking Nathan's injury on the way out and asking, "How's your leg?" Really?
What an asshole,
I swear.
dude.
He's still mad about the flashlight.
Yeah.
Unable to fire his gun, Nathan goes down, and while Tori tends to him, Alex runs out of the barn with the intent to save Ozzy. Outside of the house, the leprechaun tackles Ozzy and crawls on top of him. He snatches the buckle from his shoe and uses it to slash Ozzy's face bloody again and again. I thought he was going to cut his stomach open.
Me too.
But he's just slashing his face.
Honestly, from the moment that he swallowed the coin, I was like, we're going to see.
Some
Oh,
guts.
yeah.
But no, he's doing his own thing. He's taking his time.
Yeah. He reminds that he wants his last gold coin. Alex runs over, promising Ozzy that he'll save him. He just has to hold on. Clearly, they filled Alex in on the lore and given him the clover because he plucks chewed gum from his mouth and wraps the magical four-leaf clover around it. So again, foreshadowing, when we met Alex, he did this, minus the clover.
Mm-hmm.
The leprechaun continues to cut up Ozzy's face, only turning when Alex calls out to him, "Hey, Lep!" Which is pretty funny. That's what he called himself.
It was.
The leprechaun turns just as Alex pulls back his slingshot, armed with the gum clover combo. Sneering, he delivers his action hero line. Fuck you, Lucky Charms. And he shoots the gum right into the leprechaun's open mouth, where it glows green before disappearing down his throat.
General Mills is like, hey.
Yeah.
This is another one that Jones said they had told him several times not that this line was not going to work. It was not good. But he said it got a huge laugh when they screened it.
Okay.
It's like, duh.
Yeah.
The leprechaun staggers and falls, his stomach gurgling and his body spasming. His flesh begins to melt, and he looks at himself with wonder as he begins to dissolve from his bones. In a brilliant flash of light that morphs into a glowing green, the remains of the tortured leprechaun wilt, and he falls backwards, disappearing into the old well. Glowing green light explodes up from its depths. Leaning back against a beam on the porch, his face still bleeding and his voice weak, Ozzy says, "We did it." He realizes that he did a smart thing. He did a smart thing, didn't he? Alex looks up at his friend and agrees that Ozzy is really smart. He implores him to just hang in there. Ozzy wonders what's that on Alex's shirt. He points and Alex looks down, only for Ozzy to use the finger to boink the boy's nose. Gotcha. It's the first time he ever got him. Alex agrees. You sure did, Ozzy. The leprechaun, though, has started to claw his way up out of the well.
Are you serious?
The melted mess of his face, nothing more than dripping skin, exposed bone, and razor-sharp teeth. He looks really cool.
Yes.
I will agree.
Yeah.
His voice distorted and strange. He cries out again, "I want me gold." Nathan snaps into action. He runs over to the well and uses the butt of the shotgun to knock the leprechaun back in. He grabs a can of gasoline and dumps it inside, and he lights a match, throwing it in before rushing back to the porch where Tori, Ozzy, and Alex hide their faces. The well explodes in a burst of flames, and the group watches the wreckage in awe.
Ruined that well.
Yeah.
Just ruined it.
Yep.
JD's like, I just bought this house.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Literally, how am I going to explain this to my dad?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it was very funny, him running back to them. I thought he was like running to protect them. But when we go back, he's behind them. It's like, oh, you jumped
It's
behind.
like, dude, I did the hard work.
Yeah.
You shield
My
me.
leg. Yeah.
My leg. He heard it again in the barn. The flames are still licking at the well in the morning when multiple police cars pull onto the property with their sirens blazing. Hope blooms in the score as Tori, Nathan, Ozzy, and Alex leave the house and walk over to the incoming police. But as we press in on the fiery well, we hear the leprechaun's voice. "I'll not rest till I have me gold. Curse this well that me soul shall dwell till I find me magic that breaks me spell." At least he's rhyming again.
Yeah.
It cuts to black and the credits roll. So, what did you guys think of Leprechaun?
After waiting so long and watching this again as an adult, the movie's not great, but I love it. I love, and again, this is for me. This is my bag. You know what I mean? I love the silly shit. The get a beer, put your brain in the freezer, and just watch it.
Yep,
that's fine. That's what I want. I want to be distracted. I want nonsense. You know what I mean? There are times that are kind of like, well, what the fuck, you know? But I mean, I think that's just part. You know, it comes with the territory. It can't all make sense, or it can't always all the jokes land. Sometimes, you know, something's a little chuckle, not a big one. So I do forgive some of the stuff that the movie does, and I think it is the nostalgia that kind of, you know, those rose-colored glasses. It is. Because, again, I do feel like I'd still find amusement and all that if I had never seen this before. Mm-hmm. But it is, like I said, with The Howling, I wish I would have seen that when I was a kid. This is something that I have watched a lot, or I had watched a lot as a kid. And then watching it again, I'm just smiling. I'm just like, man, this is fucking great. Again, I don't understand why has powers and he doesn't have powers. Sometimes he's rhyming, sometimes he's not. Mm-hmm. He's always an asshole. I mean, but
That's consistent.
That is consistent.
I appreciate the one-liners or him just saying stuff when he's being bad. But I mean, I can also understand why people fucking hate this, or if they don't like it. Like, I get it, but I still really, really enjoyed this.
This is one that I would have appreciated better if I had watched it with you guys.
Yeah. Okay.
I think watching it on my own and taking my notes, I'm just like, holy Lord.
Oh, yeah, I bet.
You know? But because I had much more fun talking about it than I did watching it.
Yes.
But just because this film is not for me and really is not for me, that doesn't mean that I...
You gotta say it twice.
That doesn't mean that I don't understand like the draw to it or the reason that people would love it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Especially if you saw it at a young age.
Oh, yeah.
This is one that you would throw on and the nostalgia does the heavy lifting.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And you don't think about different things not adding up or not making sense at all. Or this leprechaun seemingly just toying with these people. Although he's really desperate to get his gold.
Yeah.
But he's like,
Why?
"Hey, you know, I don't know.
Yeah.
And 99 isn't enough."
No.
Which is interesting. But I mean, I don't know. I think that there are positives to it, even though I really don't care for it.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are things that you can point to say, well, you know, they did this well. These people showed up
Yeah.
on a very low budget. This is what they were able to do, you know? So I think that there are some positives to it, whether or not it is something that, because I don't see myself really watching this again.
Mm-hmm.
I am interested, as I said at the beginning. I don't know about this franchise, but somehow he ends up in space.
Yeah.
And that is very intriguing to me. What kind of story
Yes. Yeah.
justifies that?
Yeah. Why? Why?
You know, I've seen Jason X. I see what their reasoning is.
Right.
What are they doing with this leprechaun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's figure it out in several years.
Yes. We're in no rush.
We are in no rush. But I get why you love it so much.
Yeah.
I think the reasons you love it are kind of the reasons that I don't, which is very interesting.
Yeah.
But I think that that's a thing where you can have a conversation
Right.
and be cordial with each other. Your tastes in film does not define you as a human being.
Yeah.
Imagine the concept
And-
of that.
and
Of
that's-
not being mean to person
No,
to
yeah.
to person, not being mean to someone because of what they think about a movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whether liking or disliking.
Yeah.
And like we always say, everybody has different tastes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody, again, you can show it to your friend if they might have never seen it and they do like it or they hate it. And like you are saying, it's a conversation.
Yeah. Yes.
And we can still have fun talking about it.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun
Yes.
to talk about this. Yeah, I see where both of y'all are coming from, even though your opinions are very, very different, because I agree both. I think that the silliness, again, if it was, we're making a terrifying movie about a leprechaun that blah, 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 and that would be one thing.
Mm-hmm.
That's not what they were doing, dude.
Yeah.
They knew fully, especially Mark Jones, and Warwick Davis, knew exactly what this was, knew exactly what this character was. They were not trying to be anything that they weren't. And there is a charm to that. And again, like you said, John Paul, not every joke lands.
Yeah.
But some of them do. And some of them are, I did genuinely laugh. Some of them I shook my head. Other times shit just went on for me a little too long. Some of the chase scenes were too much. Some of the editing was a little odd. And again, the motivation and I guess the motivation is clear. Let me take that back.
Mm-hmm.
He wants his gold.
Right. Yeah.
Why? I don't know. Mm-hmm. But we all know that he wants his gold. I think that the powers that this leprechaun is capable of, not capable of, the way that they work, and why does he get to kind of disregard the rules of if you catch a leprechaun, you get to keep the gold?
Yeah.
Why does this one get to not do that? Like, I think that I would just like to learn, and I don't know how we would do this, maybe a research scene. I don't know how we would get across why this leprechaun is so bad. I don't know.
And is he the only one?
Is he the only one?
Yeah.
Because he refers to a leprechaun. So I'm assuming that there are more and he's just a really mean one. But I don't know. And it is interesting to me that the core four survived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of our main people died.
No,
Yeah.
honestly, after seeing what happened to Ozzy, whenever he was like, "Hey, Alex," I thought he was gonna say, "I'm bleeding out," or after he did the nose thing, he's like, "This is goodbye."
Yeah.
But
He just
no,
slumps
Yeah.
over. No. But again, that kind of speaks to how really lighthearted this is. Like, I mean, the people that die, we only knew for about 2 minutes. So
Right.
it really doesn't matter. Here we have a child, we have our final girl, quote unquote, we have her love interest, and we have Ozzy, who's very sweet and innocent. It would suck if any of them were brutally
Yeah.
murdered by a pogo stick or
Yes.
something. So, I mean, I think the darkest death that we really got was O'Grady,
Yeah.
But no, it's ridiculous. And it knows that it's ridiculous. That's why it's like, you can't be like, this movie fucking I mean, you can, but I don't think that that's fair because, again, this is exactly what they sought out to do.
Mm-hmm.
Mark Jones wanted this to be silly as fuck. And guess what? It's silly as fuck.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you can't, check, I guess, I guess we can kind of slide into ratings. And because of that, it is kind of a difficult one to rate because while I appreciate the swing and I think that Warwick Davis and Jennifer Aniston specifically delivered really great performances, especially Warwick Davis,
Man.
this Leprechaun
Yeah.
is fucking... This Leprechaun is something else.
I'd hang out with him if he wasn't an asshole.
But he is.
Yeah, but he is.
But he
Yes,
very
he
much is. I think the makeup is really, really cool. I think that some of the score is really interesting. Like, just the way that it's used in the film.
Yeah.
I'm like, man, y'all were really fucking getting after it. But again, there are moments that just go on entirely too long. There is kind of, it feels like rule breaking in its own universe because the rules are not established.
Okay.
Like, all we know is that the Clover hurts Leprechaun, but we don't know when and why he can teleport, why he wants this gold, why, you know what I mean? And just silly things like him getting his ass beat with the flashlight.
Yeah.
Or, just things like that, having to count the gold by hand where it's like, aren't you magical? It's just, but again, all those things that don't fully line up to me are very funny. So it's like, this one is really, almost totally down the middle, but I do appreciate what was done here. Even though not all of it, T, I will agree with you, not all of it is for me. Again, I formed a weird, kind of appreciation for how fucking ridiculous this movie is.
Mm-hmm.
Unapologetically so.
Yeah.
And so I'm between two numbers. I'm just going to go right down the middle of them. And on a scale from 1 to 10, fantastical 4-leaf clovers, I am going to give Leprechaun with Love a 5.5 out of 10 fantastical 4-leaf clovers.
Okay.
This is fun. It's not
Not
good,
fun enough.
but it's fun. I will now open up the floor to you.
No, I get it. And like I said, I understand. For me, this is a movie that I do think of from time to time. Even if I haven't watched it in a long time, it's fucking Leprechaun. And again, I do think that this is one of those movies that you had to have watched young. Not saying necessarily, but if you did, yeah, you're going to love it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to stick with you. And I think that it is a lot of that is influencing my score, but I would watch this again.
Yeah.
Like I'll be honest, I would immediately put it right back on and watch it. Like, it's just fun. It's just nonsense. It's just, I can leave the room and come back and whatever's happening. I don't need to know what's happening before. I just need to pay attention to what's happening now.
Mm-hmm.
And I think, like you were saying, babe, the not having rules does work and not work for it, because it does make it feel a little chaotic because we are like in the dark. I don't know because he did get 99% of his shit back. Why didn't he get 99% of his power back? He was still fucking vulnerable. He was still able to be hurt.
Yeah.
And
Shouldn't you have done something once you got all that gold back?
You would think.
Right?
Yeah.
He's still physically traveling.
Yeah. He still has to physically travel places. He's like that does make it like I said, it does hurt and it doesn't, but for me it does make it funny, and it helps the funny a little more for me because it is him on the tricycles. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Then he gets the little motorized car. Then he has the go-kart that he upgraded. And it's like, how, when? Like, you know what I mean? All this it's dumb, but it's, for me, it helps sell the nonsense. But I know that this is a lot of love I'm giving the movie, but again, it's for me. So for me, on a scale from 1 to 10, I'm going to give Leprechaun 7.5 fantastical 4-leaf clovers out of 10. Again, I watched this a lot as a kid. Jackson loves it. Watching it again, I was like, damn, this is pretty funny. Like, it is funny. And it is that Warwick Davis putting everything into it.
And he did.
And it is seeing him having fun, him running around. Jennifer Aniston does a good job. They all do.
Yeah.
And it is that. You know what this silly shit was. And you didn't take it to a different place. You didn't try to be too serious. You didn't try to have too many heartfelt moments. The romance is very little.
Yeah.
Like, it
kind of abandoned.
Yeah, it is just this is fun. Watch it, enjoy it or don't. It is what it is.
Speaking of Jackson, I had asked him because he was like, oh, y'all are doing Leprechaun, da-da-da. I said, what would you give it on a scale from 1 to 10? And he was like, oh, to give an official rating, I'd really need to rewatch it because it's been a little bit. He's 12.
Yeah.
Because it's been a little bit for me. I'd have to rewatch it. He's like, but from what I remember, probably a 9. I was like, bet, dude.
And again, I think that's the important thing, like watching it at that age.
Yes.
I can't even imagine.
Yeah.
And that's another thing that I was thinking about. Watching it at another age, you might actually be afraid of this leprechaun.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Well,
You know?
he is. And he does look pretty. When he's melting and shit, that did look really cool.
Yeah.
I liked, because I think that was a puppet, maybe.
Yeah, it looked like
I liked it.
Yeah.
I thought that looked pretty cool. And again, I think that's the thing, is there are a few things for me that I'm like, all right, that's pretty good.
Yeah.
That you can't really say, oh, this is like the worst or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it isn't. And it is, exactly as you said, trying to be what it is.
Yeah.
And nothing more than that. So I think at that point, at the end of the day, it really is just a matter of taste.
Yes.
Because it's not like they're trying something and failing. They're doing exactly what they intended to do.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know, it's just not for me.
Yeah.
Which
no,
is
hey,
fair.
yeah.
And I think that, I mean, there are certain aspects of this film that I think are just maybe done better in other films.
Okay.
Like you had said about the small creature idea. I like it better in Child's Play.
Right.
Or I like it better. You know, there's other things where there are elements of the film where it's like, you know what, if I want that, I have these other things that I can get it in a way that I enjoy it more. You know?
Yeah.
But I don't think that should take away from anyone's enjoyment of this for what it is. Because I do think whenever you look at the performances, Warwick Davis is doing the most.
Yeah.
And he's killing it. He's doing exactly what he needs to do. And Jennifer Aniston, the way that you hear her talk about this film or refuse to talk about this film.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you'd think that she was horrible.
She did exactly what she needed to do.
She's
Yeah.
great. Yeah.
I thought she was good. And then especially in certain points where it's like, oh, she is taking the lead. When she goes all the way to the hospice by herself.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
God damn, you're really doing it.
Yeah.
But
and she's all crying in the elevator. It was good.
Yeah.
It was
I was
good.
like, hey, I have no issues here. And the music, which I do appreciate.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't know. I just think that this is one that missed me. And now it's got to kiss me.
Yeah.
So trying to keep it the rhyme a little bit. Since he's, sometimes he. But I think I don't have much more to say about it. I think that it is one much better suited to watch with a group.
Yeah.
Especially if it's your first time watching it. I made a mistake in my preparation. So that's on me.
Yeah.
But I think for me, out of 10 fantastical 4-leaf clovers, it sounds low. I'm sorry, because it is. But I am going to give Leprechaun 3.5 out of 10. I came with a 3.
Right.
Okay.
But I had a lot of fun, and I think that that's influencing. And there are certain moments that are really hilarious.
Yes.
Like when
Yeah.
dude
The
gets
dick
his
pinch.
dick grabbed.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my God.
It wasn't a pinch.
No,
was a
that
pinch.
was a handful.
It was a- yeah.
That was not.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, that's all from us at Pod Mortem. What would you rate Leprechaun, and what should we watch next? Let us know on Instagram at the Pod Mortem. Be sure to follow us on Twitter and like our Stairhole Productions page on Facebook. Be sure to follow each of us on Instagram and Blue Sky at Blood and Smoke, at Juggalo Daddy 84, and at Travis MWH. Thanks again to Original Cinematic for sponsoring this week's episode. Please consider pledging to our Patreon, where you'll get over 250 hours of bonus content, our monthly schedule, access to our Discord server, and the opportunity to help us decide which films to cover. And if you're looking for Pod Mortem or Stairhole Productions merch, follow the link in our episode notes. Stay tuned until after the music for a special shout out to our Wendigo Getter patrons. And remember, even when your problems seem relentless, there is always a solution. All we have to do is work together and believe. Until next time. Thank you for staying tuned for a special thank you to our Wendigo Getter patrons.
Woo, yeah.
Very good. A special thank you to Chris Ontiveros, Kristen Lofton, Megan Martinez, Kimberly Bass, Sophie Hodson, Anthony Jerome M., Jordan Nash, Kent Morton, Lala Thomas, Travis and Nisa Hunter, Miguel Myers ATX, Jennifer Perez, Allison O'Neill, Carissa, TJ and Angie Bronson, Andy Teague, Applin Ontiveros, Karima Rhodes, Kimberly Kleindienst, Bobby Holmes, Donna Eason, JD Rezak, Molly Gerhart, Armand Spasto, Aaron Aguirre, Eggy, William Barry, Charity Oxner, Amanda Six, Mandy Rainwater, Jordan Roberts, Dylan, Spencer Montalvo, Pancake the Panda, John Ramos, Michael Newding, Alexis Roberts, Itzy M, Gary Horton, Kate Lamp, Carlos and Sydney, Jessica Hunter, Helena Rudder, Alan Johnston, Mariah, Livy Fun, Scott Troutman Wise, Mozzie Bear, Dave Burke, Emma Hagel Kissinger, Valerie G, Emiliana, CB, Taylor Santana, Will Lewison, Angelique, Smelly Poo Poo Head, Beth Bauer, Cookie, Esperanza J, Jason Kyle OKC, Joshua Rumley, Danielle Peralta, Sawyer Reese Farr, Sahara, Girl That's Scary, Cassandra, Andrea Simmons, Ashley Higuera, William and Xxena Rush, Ryan Brom, Megan Ochoa, Laura Lassiter, Eileen O, Marissa E, Henry F, Megan M, Strangely Sarah, Christy Beck, Nancy and Andy, Amanda Lopez, Andy Terrell, Erica Morin, Tris Wynn, K.87, Mariah Jensen, Carrie A, Lonnie Lono, Powell, Kayla E, Maggie H, Murder Stina, Kristen Marcy, Ori81 Boricua, Look Like That One Girl, Bog Boy, Felnez 63, Alita Pui, Probably My Jugs, Kate Thackeray, Wade Pack,
A Lizard, Bay J, Jay Rich, Topher Williams, Elena Metler, Valerie K, Christy Lee Kruger, Professor of Humanity, Laura McCarricker, Naomi, Josh Smith, Autumn Green, Abby Kopp, Crystal 831, Skank Sinatra, Morgan Alexander, Tony Osteen, Julie Fredborg, Rihanna S, Daniel Taylor, Anna Kate, Heather Ortiz, Kim H, August, Jenny May, Old School Cool, Malik Caselli Armstrong, Scarly D, Toya Shea, Katie, Martin Shaw, Star, Tyler J, Cam Davies, Patrick Hoagland, Raven, Wesley Tart, Kristen Jackson, Jacob Nordberg, Samantha, Damian Grant, Half Price Horror, Clemmy, Nisi Nay, Jason X Rules, Aaron Norman, Victoria Smith, Patricia A. Graham, Erasmo Pena, Danielle Wright, Chuck D., Tabitha Thomas, Connie Lingus, Richard Murray, Irene, Sally Slater 52, Jordan McCarthy, Rosalind Harnias, Emily Rance, Amy, Lisa and Kathy, Mike H., Christian Sadler, Hannah, Sarah Jack, Casey L., Evelyn Knight, Paula Garcia, Nikki M., Ghastly Grandad, Megan and Alexandra Saldivar, Lisa Sykes, Kelsey Niemeyer Cook, Martina LaForce, JG, Morgan Novella, Ashley, Alex M., Brandon C., Gordon Sutherland, Georgia Renland, Ashley Poe, Diana Joe, Connor Gormley, Carrie Parker, Katie Face, Jane Pillsbury, Caitlin Asher, Mia Franz, Pooh Bear, Spicy Caldera, This is the Zodiac Speaking, Jason the Ghost, Moldy Tic Tac, Brian Ward, Tanner Rutgers, Gremlin Keeper 22, Sam Spade 666, Veronica, Kristen Rhodes, Daniel Laurent, Garmito, TVR, A Very Sweepy Baby, Nicholas Rage,
A Lazy Boy, Nicola Williams, Sadison Miles, Stu Corbett, Brick O, Jaden Nicole, Lost Fan 08, George L. Robertson, Mercedes X Bleeple, Joel Miller Apologist, Jaylene Perry, Cool Trainer Elijah, Mrs. Bloomingdale, Sierra Duncan, Renee Hart, Meg Likes Sleep, Final Boy, Alani, Elizabeth Thompson, Joey, Michelle Nicole, The Lipstick Demon, Less Than Zombie, Franklin Badge, Sean Reeves, The Kryptonian Orphan, Melissa B., Elena C., Jillian Munford, Evil Chris, Rex Sturm Raoul, Witchy Poop 19, Brian Avers, Danielle Milton, Instant Horror, Just Give Me One Wish Like Ray J, Skin Deep, Christian Salvatierra, Ashay Guevara, Aaron Mr. Clean Bashard, Henny Kravitz, Francisco Olmos, Paunchy Cat, Christina Perez, Buddy Boy Mac, Revamped, a rewatch podcast, Sarah Coolidge, Show Livia, Film Fiend, Catherine Clark, Brandon Brown, Jessica Hernandez, Camry, Amy Shipley like the Donuts, Jack, Alyssa Muskites, Jennifer Hager, Nox Nocturnal, Byron Pittman, Sophia Mason, Most Unholy S'more, Pear Bear, Tom Blades, Bonnie Bazell, Crystal Reddy, Stu Mocker Fokker, Sean Weeks, Chardonnay Carlina, Samira Samuels, The Chief King, Nicholas Doba, Philip Thomas, Ashley Gravely, It's Austin Buttercrush, Kimberly Martinez, James Floyd, Stephanie, Hope Mowry, Abe the Camel, DGS, J. Taylor Art UK, Robert Murdoch, GQ, Danielle Carter, Jason Moore Please, Nostly, Emily Jeffries, Joey Monda, Madison Basaw, Jasmine, Midnight Martini, Victor Rushing, Gavin Annette, and Jennifer Monahan. Thank you all so much.
Yes, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes, thank you, because y'all are our lucky charms.
Yeah.
You're the real gold.
Yeah.
I should have written a rhyme.
Well,
Well, he
next
stopped
time.
rhyming too.
Yeah, fuck it. If he stopped caring, so can we.
It's fine. Until next time.